significant improvement. Nothing is ever absolute. Nothing could ever be 100% yada yada. But man, we could have so many different better things if we just had that same mentality of, oh, we're having guests, companies coming over. Let's get it together and make it look like we have our house in order. When we know Philadelphia as a city does not have their house in order.
Start your day with Kale and Company. Weekday mornings 6 till 10 on Talk Radio 1210, WPHT, and the free Odyssey app. WPHT, WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
It is 3:06 in the afternoon. We have liftoff here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Shawn Farash filling in on the afternoon show today till 6 o'clock on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Justin and Andrew hanging out, running this bad boy. We're going to have a lot of fun today. You know, I always come in with some silly stories at the end of each hour. Got a few. None of them involve felines this time, and none of them involve kangaroos this time. That was a common theme that we had a couple times. It was a kangaroo loose in Montreal, Canada. The entire country surrendered. The godforsaken country of Canada. You know, one of the reasons why I talk so much smack about Canada is because some people like to talk smack back. A lot of Canadians are like, no, we're your friends, we're this, we're that. And I'm like, that, you bunch of Karens. Yeah, a bunch of French Karens. Now, so we'll have a few fun stories at the end of the first hour and in the second hour. The left has become so deeply infected by, what do we call it, folks? What do we call it? Trump derangement syndrome. Think about it. Trump derangement. Do I have my fat head? Here's my fat head. If you're watching on YouTube, Trump derangement syndrome. When you see this face, you go bat soup crazy. Think about it. Okay? Start clutching pearls. You start clawing at your face. You start screaming at your mother from the basement about the meatloaf. It's not cooked. People start going crazy. Trump derangement syndrome. You know, I did a bit last August. I did a bit. And it was Trump endorses oxygen, right? And of course, I had the online internet. Well, you know, the atmosphere is actually like 71% nitrogen. Right? Shut up. Just have fun, okay? It's a joke. It's a joke. Not everything has to be so dang technical. Well, actually, adjust glasses. Actually, the atmosphere is like 71% nitrogen. So, like, if he just endorsed, shh, quiet. Before I smack the actually right out of you, okay? Stop. But I mean a bit, you know, Trump endorses breathing because people with a sense of humor understand irony. And the irony is that if Donald Trump endorsed breathing, which is something all of us have to do to stay alive, then there would inevitably be members of the left that declared war on breathing air, right? There would inevitably be a movement that grows on the left against doing these basic things that you need to do to stay alive, right? Like it could be to the greatest detriment of themselves. If it's anti what Trump wants, they're going to do it. And we made that bit, and it was funny. It worked with millions of views. We did another one. Don't shower with your toaster. Seems like common sense, right? But if Donald Trump came out in front of a camera today and said, don't shower with your toaster. If it's plugged in, don't shower with it. You shouldn't shower with it anyway, but don't shower with your toaster. It's a bad idea. You could get electrocuted. You could get fried. You're fried enough as it is, you bunch of lunatics, crazy people. There would be a liberal who would take a shower, a full shower, with his, her, they, them, Jay, Zhao's toaster. You know it. I know it. We all know it. How do we know it? Well, it's been on display for the last decade. And the reason I made those bits last year where I was inspired was because remember Bobby Kennedy came out and said, that Tylenol for pregnant women isn't good. It's connected to autism in children. My best Bobby Kennedy, but damn, does that hurt? And Trump came out and said, Tylenol, no good. Don't do it. Don't take it if you're pregnant. What did you start to see on TikTok? You started to see pregnant mothers opening a bottle of Tylenol and eating the pills like they were candy. So it's quite literally a mental illness. You have to be mentally ill. You have to be mentally ill to take it upon yourself to eat acetaminophen just because the president of the United States, who you don't like, right, said not to do so. It's a mental illness. And so where am I going with this? Is we've talked about TDS before, talked about this, the left, bunch of crazy people. Left-wing protesters, left-wing figures, whether they're in the media, politicians, social media, influencers, if you want to call them that, commentators, if you want to call them that, whatever. The left, they're now defending vandalism in Washington, D.C. We already know they don't like statues. That was made evidently clear in 2020 when Black Lives Matter in, I believe it was Rochester, New York, tore down a statue of Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass, a black guy who was a leading abolitionist voice towards the end of slavery, a former slave himself. They tore down a statue of Frederick Douglass. Why? Because it was a statue in a park, and they thought all statues in all parks were all bad. So we know they love vandalism and destroying property because they do that like as a hobby. But they're now defending vandalism in Washington, D.C. And strangely, they're now defending algae. I wish I could say I'm making this up. In the D.C. reflecting pool, they're defending the algae. This is not a drill. They're defending vandalism, which is not new. We already know what they did in 2020, right? The Frederick Douglass statue, all the property damage, the George Floyd riots, firebombing courthouses, taking over portions of major cities, the Chaz Chop zones in Seattle. And by the way, for those of you on the left who want to do, well, what about January 6th? And you want to talk about vandalism? Okay, let's talk about one day. January 6th, 2021. Let's talk about it. 4 to 5 hours on one day. Okay. There were some bad actors on January 6th. I've already been clear about that. I opposed blanket pardons for all of them because then you had people like Jake Lang who actually did things that should be punished on January 6th. I believe if you were unprovoked, you beat up police officers, you should not have received the pardon. Commutation, fine. You want to say due process violations happen? Okay. No pardon. That should be on your record. I was saying those things before Donald Trump issued the blanket pardon. And I said, I disagree with the blanket pardon. However, that's the cost of doing business if you're looking to right all those wrongs quickly, right off the bat. And he did it the night he was inaugurated. But yeah, you want to talk about January 6th? Okay, we just talked about it. There were some people who did some bad things, and I don't believe those people deserve full pardons. I've already said that. It's not going to take mental gymnastics for me to say it. Well, Donald Trump did it, and and I still support him. You know why? I can disagree with somebody on one thing and agree with them on 90+% of other things and not go absolutely ape you-know-what because of it. We done with January 6th now? 4 hours, 5 hours, whatever it was, on one day. So you got your little whataboutism in now. You got your, what about January 6th? Okay, what about it? I just told you. There were a lot of people who were unfairly victimized by an overzealous and weaponized Department of Justice in the wake of January 6th. And there were people who did some bad things on January 6th who should have been punished a little harder than they were. That does not, it doesn't take anything extraordinary for me to say that. Now let's talk about what the left has done in Ferguson, Missouri, in Minneapolis, in Seattle. Remember, January 6th, 4 to 5 hours on one day. Chaz Chop lasted weeks in Seattle. Weeks. The George Floyd riots lasted weeks. Not just in Minneapolis, but in New York City, Philadelphia, Seattle, Portland, and blue cities all across the country. Weeks. January 6th, 4 hours, one day. Left-wing protests, riots, firebombing courthouses. Months in some cases. We know the left defends this kind of behavior because the people engaging in this kind of behavior are their voters. We know they're the party of crime, and we know they're the party of violence, and we know they're the party of rules for thee, but not for me, but not everybody does. So how could not everyone see it? Well, because not everybody's online paying attention to stuff like this. My question is, can you continue to ignore how ridiculous these people are any longer? Can you continue to ignore that? Can you continue to turn a blind eye to this kind of absolutely insane behavior? Because that's what it is. It's insane. These giant, air quotes, protesters are consumed by hate for one man, no matter what that one man does. If Donald Trump cured world hunger tomorrow, I'm waving a magic wand, nobody's hungry, they would eat all the food. Just so that there's a problem that they could then try to blame on Donald Trump. If Donald Trump cured AIDS or cancer or some other awful disease, these people would set the labs on fire that were mass producing the cure. Just so that it looks like Donald Trump is failing. No matter what Donald Trump does, they immediately assume the opposite position simply to maintain that they don't agree with Donald Trump. Even when disagreeing with Donald Trump puts them on the ridiculous side of the 80-20 issues. This is what contributed to their humiliating loss in 2024. Donald Trump took reasonable, common sense positions. Secure border, safe streets, strong military, deporting illegal aliens. You can't change your biological sex. But the TDS infected liberals ran from it like the bats out of hell that they are. Straight to the 20 side of those 80-20 issues. And now, once again, it's on full display. Granted, listen, this is not one of the most significant stories in terms of how it impacts our day-to-day. I get a good chuckle out of it, but it shows you, it highlights, and it might break through to some people to show you how ridiculous these people are. Something so ridiculous might be what is needed to finally show people just how wild, just how crazy these people are. Leftists are now supporting, defending, and yes, cheering on algae in the DC reflecting pool. Shawn, why are you spending 20 minutes and a whole opening monologue on the radio in afternoon drive time in a major U.S. market, Philadelphia? As much crap as I talk about your city, right? Why are you wasting all this time? Isn't there something I say? Because some people need things to be so painfully obvious to realize what's right in front of them. That we have to talk about ridiculous things like this. You have left-wing protesters in Washington, D.C. taking time out of their day. They could be doing anything else. And they're choosing to show up at the reflecting pool and applaud an active algae bloom and cheer it on like it's Super Bowl Sunday. This is happening. Listen, anyone who owns a pool or has in the past owned a pool knows just how much of a pain algae is. Nobody wants to deal with it. Nobody wants to see it. Nobody wants to hear about it. And yet, it's giving Trump a hard time. And so therefore, the algae is now the new symbol of the resistance. Rally around that algae bloom. Rally around that pond scum. Rally around that green, slippery, sticky, gross stuff that's at the bottom of the reflecting pool because the algae is giving Trump a bad name. The algae is giving Trump a hard time. The algae can be used as a way of taking political shots at Donald Trump. So the algae 2028, leading contender for the Democrat primary. It's algae, isn't it? Would you be shocked? Because at this point, maybe a few years ago, I'd be like, oh, come on. No. At this point, I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked. That green scum that every pool owner hates with the burning passion of 1,000 suns has become the new mascot of the left. Algae. You believe that? Why highlight it? Because at some point, normies and people looking at it saying, those of you who are dialed into politics are like, this is a waste of time. You're really going on about algae? Really? You're going on about the left? Yes, because there are people who are not like us, they're not paying attention all the time, that maybe are, flipping through the radio dial and they hear this. What is he talking about? Algae? What is he talking about? Wait, the left is really doing that? Wait, the left is really talking to the algae? Justin, we got that clip?
Yes,
Can
sir.
we play that clip of these leftists? Can we play that cut of these leftists cheering the algae on like it's like they're at a football game? Let's roll that.
Algae is doing good today, honey. Team Algae, whoa. Everybody's proud of you. You are single-handedly doing more to fight fascism than any American has. Yes. Yeah, algae. Woo! Algae! Could you turn around?
Oh, you thought I was joking? Oh, you guys have been listening. You, those of you who are listening right now, you thought I was joking about this whole thing about the algae. You thought, oh no, he's using this. No. Oh, we're so proud of you. Look at your little green algae. You little green algae. I remember when you were just a little tiny bloom. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not kidding. That's the point, okay? That's the point of this entire exercise. You're listening to me and you're going, this is ridiculous. There's got to be a punchline. Folks, that is the punchline. They're cheering on the algae. They're talking to the algae. They are rallying around the algae. It is the new symbol of the resistance because the algae is something that Donald Trump wants to get rid of. So now the enemy of the enemy is their friend, and the enemy to them is Donald Trump, and that's what their whole life revolves around. If Donald Trump did not exist, they would have no purpose. It is absolutely mind-blowing to watch this. And again, this is not one of the most consequential issues of our time. That's not why I'm highlighting it. The algae isn't. But the root cause of this new cult of algae that we're seeing on the left, that's the problem. It is Trump derangement syndrome. You, the Democrat voter, you don't matter. You don't matter. Trump matters to the left. You, the Democrat voter, you think they're looking out for you? They don't care about you. They are cheering on microscopic organisms in water and saying that the algae is fighting fascism. They don't care about you. They care about standing in the way of Donald Trump and exercising raw political power for their own betterment, not yours, not the members of your community. All that matters to them is power and stopping Donald Trump. You're Joe the Plumber Democrat? They don't care about you. You're Mike the Firefighter Democrat? They don't care about you. You're, I don't know, Melissa, the librarian Democrat? They don't care about you. They don't care about you. They care about power, and they are obsessed with Donald Trump to the point where whatever he does, reflexively, they will do the opposite no matter what it is, down to, yes, as I played for you, cheering on algae in a reflecting pool. Nothing better to do? No job to go to? Well, that is their job. Sad. No productive things, nothing you could build for yourself? No, of course not. That's the left. That's what you're fighting against in November. And it's a shame, but it sometimes takes something this ridiculous to open people's eyes and go, holy cow, these people are crazy. We're going to have more on this when we come back here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, 855-839-1210 if you want to chime in. A few of these people have already been caught. A few more are under investigation, according to Donald Trump. Again, the left, the party of violence, the party of vandalism, the party of uncivilized behavior running rampant in American society. We'll have that and more when we come back on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Shawn Farash with you, 855-839-1210 if you want to chime in, and we're back after this.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here as we celebrate America's 250th birthday. What a great reminder that this nation was built by hardworking people, entrepreneurs, and local family businesses that serve their communities every day. That's one of the reasons I've enjoyed working with Chapman Windows, Doors, and Siding. They're a local family-owned company helping homeowners throughout our region improve and protect their homes for years. When you work with Chapman, you're supporting a local business that stands behind its work and truly cares about its customers. To celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary, Chapman is offering $250 off new red, white, or blue entry doors through July 4th. What a fun way to add some patriotic style to your home while improving curb appeal and security. So visit ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. ChapmanWindowsDoors.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Tasty cake and summer just go together. Whether you're packing for family vacations, getting ready for summer camp, heading to the pool, or simply stocking up for busy days at home, Tasty Cake has the treats everyone loves. The next time you're at the grocery store, be sure to grab the baked peach pie, packed with sweet summer flavor, and the lemon cupcakes, perfect for lunchboxes, camp snacks, road trips, and family get-togethers. Easy to grab, easy to share, and always a family favorite. Make Tasty Cake part of your summer. Tasty Cake. Accept no substitutes.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Mary Claire Haver, a board-certified OBGYN and menopause specialist. My new podcast, Unpaused, is the place for bold, unfiltered conversations about what it really takes for women to thrive in the second half of life. Every week, I sit down with medical experts, cultural icons, and powerhouse women to talk about what really matters. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Listen to and follow Unpaused with me, Dr. Mary Claire Haver, available now wherever you get your podcasts.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Wesley Financial.
There's a short list of trillion-dollar companies, and NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang thinks Marvel Technology could join that prestigious club. Huang told a trade conference that Marvel is poised to take advantage of the next phase of AI infrastructure growth, which could lead to a trillion-dollar valuation. Marvel has a new AI chip that it says is 25% more power efficient than rival data center chips. I'm Jason Brooks.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
If you own a small business, the pressure never lets up. Something's always coming at you. That's why business owners turn to LendSeek for funding.
I don't need promises. I need options. LendSeek's AI platform showed me real funding choices. Now I can cover payroll, handle taxes, and go after growth opportunities without the daily stress.
Up to $5 million with funding in as fast as 24 hours. No upfront costs. No prepayment penalties. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LENDSEEK.com.
Lanny went to college and racked up huge debt.
A little bit over $100,000.
For a degree he couldn't use, now what?
I had a friend that went to my computer career.
They even helped him get hired immediately after graduation.
One of the things I love about IT is that you can work from anywhere you want.
You could become an IT pro in just months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI with zero experience at mycomputercareer.edu. My Computer Career, an elite CompTIA certification partner.
It worked for me, and I know it can work for you.
This is one student's experience. Individual results vary.
Tune in to the Crash Proof Retirement Show Saturdays at 11 a.m. to hear Joanne Small-Canella and Tracy Stillman. The Crash Proof Retirement Show, Saturday mornings at 11 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
Now back to the Piazza Auto Group studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. This is Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
3:33 p.m., threes across the board here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. They say deuce is wild, but threes, what is 3? Trips? I don't know. Trace, late chase. Who knows? It's 3:33. That's the point. Now it's 3:34. Whatever. Turn that clock back. 3:34 p.m. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT 855-839-1210. If you want to chime in. Why wouldn't you want to chime in? You get to call in. You get to yell at me. You get to call me all the names you want to call me on the radio, live on the air. You can't use dirty language, though, because then Stalker's best friend, Brendan Carr, will get all upset and start fining people, and we can't have that. But 855-839-1210. Do you love algae? I don't know. You know, I remember when I grew up on Long Island at my parents' house, and we had a swimming pool in the backyard, and I hated that stuff. I hated when the algae got going because it's all slippery and it doesn't do anything. It's just gross. And so, like, to see these people outside of the reflecting pool, like cheering it on simply because it's an inconvenience for Trump. It's like getting excited about a flat tire, you know? Like, yeah, flat tire. Like nobody is excited about flat tires, right? Like nobody. Okay, so, you know, it's like when the power goes out and it's a big inconvenience. You have no internet. You can't charge your phone. But if Trump's power goes out, they're like excited about it. It's like the average thing that would inconvenience they're happy as long as it's bad for Trump. And in this case, it's bad for Trump. It's also bad for the country. Who wants to look at a green algae-filled reflecting pool? Nobody. It's like I would understand if Donald Trump was doing something that was like actually controversial or could be interpreted as controversial. This is what I'm saying. You know, we look at these people on the left and we highlight their insanity all the time. Oh, look at them, the anti-ICE protesters. Don't they understand they're making their streets safer? Like, the protesters don't care. It's the third parties that are watching that I want to understand that. But when you have the mainstream media and you have left-wing social media and you have this propaganda machine that the left has, it may not be as powerful as it once was, but it still is powerful, right? When you have all of those things working and you share pictures of, you know, a child who was not being detained, who was being held on to because his father, who was an illegal alien, abandoned him on the street. And you're like, ICE detained a kid. So now you have public perception turning against ICE and joining the ranks of the protesters going, yeah, ICE really needs to calm it down. They just detained a child, when that never happened. Do you see what I'm saying? And so, and this gets back to like where we were in April of 2024. And I said this while this was happening. Remember the Columbia riots with Free Palestine and all the encampments, the Gaza encampments on the college campuses? And I said, I don't think this is going to have as much appeal to the public because the last time they tried stuff like that, it was 2020, it was Black Lives Matter. And the idea of Black Lives Matter or equality or ending racism, that idea, like in and of itself, take out all of the ways that was being used, you know, whether it was born from critical theory, whether it was reminiscent, they were arguing in favor of communism and taking down the nuclear family. Put that all aside for a second and just look at the boilerplate term, Black Lives Matter. People are going to look at that term and say, I agree with that. Black Lives Matter. In other words, we don't just want to see black people killed for no reason. Right? And that's not what was happening. But again, that's an idea that could be something that the public gets behind because it makes sense. It's common sense, right? Ending racism. I wouldn't like there to be racism all over the place, so I have no problem with you taking a stand against racism, but that's not what they were doing. They co-opted that into some political movement and propagandist movement and defund the police and all cops are bastards and all that. The point that I'm making here is the difference that had with the 2024, campus protests with Gaza, Free Palestine, and we are Hamas, and the terrorists kind of have a point. That stuff is not as attractive to the general public as the phrase Black Lives Matter, okay? Protesting ICE, protesting the government, no kings, disagreeing with Trump about war, all of these things, those are issues that the public could look at and go, all right, maybe they have a point. I don't like this war in Iran, or, ICE needs to calm down. I don't like that they detained a child again, even though that didn't happen. You have to put yourself in the minds of these folks in the middle who are influenced by this type of stuff. We're not influenced by this type of stuff, but there are people who are influenced by this type of stuff. It's kind of like we got to dive deep into the normie psychology, right? And we're talking to these people and we're saying, you realize that they're protesting ICE, not because they detained a child, because that never happened, but because it's Donald Trump wants to do mass deportations and they need these people in there. And we start getting into the weeds and these normies will roll their eyes. Everything's a conspiracy with you. And it just becomes, you need a better example to show them that the people who they think, quote unquote, have a point are absolutely nuts. From a strategy standpoint, from an opportunity standpoint, I think we've been handed a pretty golden opportunity here to go, hey, you know how you said back in January that they had a point over Renee Good or Alex Preddy or the kid or whatever and ICE and blah, 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 blah. And the left has a point about Trump and fascism and kings and blah, 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 blah. And we're like, no, these people are crazy. Really? Oh, do you disagree with that? No, I don't disagree with no kings. I don't want a king. But look what they're up to now. Last year, they were eating Tylenol. You thought it's not a big deal. So a few people on TikTok. Now you got a few people outside the reflecting pool of Washington, D.C. Do you see a trend? Do you think it's a good use of their time to stand outside of a reflecting pool and cheer on algae? Do you understand that the people who are doing that are the drivers of the Democrat Party? And if you give your vote to a Democrat representative running for the House or the Senate or governor or county commission or county executive or whatever seat it might be, that those are the people who are going to be directing them, they're not going to come back to you. They don't care about you. They care about now, once they achieve political power, retaining political power. So they're going to pander to the craziest, most passionate and loudest voices in their party. And it's the algae people. Those people become the ones in charge if you vote for Democrats. Period. I'm trying to tie that all up. It's not about how cheering on algae is going to tank the economy or how it's going to hurt American taxpayers up front, like directly. It's about showing you those people in the frog suit outside of the, around the reflecting pool, harassing the National Guard, screaming in their face, all of that. Those people are the ones who are in charge if you vote Democrat, okay? That's the point. That's why we just spent 40 minutes on algae. All right? Donald Trump yesterday spoke about the vandalism that the left is telling you isn't happening, which is, folks, flag this. Flag it. Flag it. Hold on. Where's my alarm? Where's my... Okay, listen to me. What are the 4 steps that we always go through with the left? Donald Trump says something is happening. What do? They say, no. That's not happening. There's no evidence of that happening. It's not happening. The next step is what? Okay, it's happening, but only a little bit. So it doesn't really matter. So it's really like not happening, even though it is happening. Oh, it's only a little bit. Next step, it is happening, and it's a good thing that it's happening. You're damn right. We're vandalizing the reflecting pool because the reflecting pool is a symbol of fascism. And if you don't agree with our vandalism, you're a fascist too. That's step 4. If you don't like that it's happening, or you don't like or believe that it's a good thing that it's happening, you're a racist, bigot, fascist, extremist, terrorist, blah, 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 blah. It's the same formula every single time. It's not happening. Okay, it's happening, but only a little bit, so it doesn't really matter. No, it's actually happening a lot, and it's a good thing that it's happening. And if you don't believe it's a good thing and you don't support it, you're a fascist, racist, xenophobe, ist, whatever it is. So they're telling you it isn't happening, but it is. Let's go to cut 6. Here's Donald Trump talking about these vandals yesterday. He was in the White House, do something with quantum computing or whatever it might be. But let's roll cut 6, Justin.
Are the contractors who did the initial work with the reflecting pool, are they to blame for the current condition, or is it the vandals?
We had vandalism. No, vandals. You know, we have I think 290, 300-foot slit right through it, probably a box cutter or a knife of some kind. Or we had people lifting up the basic, some of the, it's not a lot of damage, but we'll probably have to let the water out and refix it. They went in there with a knife. I was just told by the people over at Parks, they have 5 people are arrested and 5 people are under investigation right now. And it's a sad thing. In addition to that, we put brand new, beautiful grass all around. They put these massive letters on the grass. You probably know about that, right? And they said 8647. They probably got that from the dirty cop, Comey. You know he's a dirty cop, don't you? Dirty cop. He's a crooked guy. They destroyed the grass. So that's a big thing. But we're going to get it back very soon.
National Guard and police have been all over the mall. How would these vandals have gotten so close to do something like that?
Do you have any proof of this? I mean, we didn't have a lot of them then. Who would think that somebody would go into a pool and take a knife and start cutting it?
But do you have proof of that?
Yeah,
we
have
you
proof.
Photos or videos?
Well, let's put it this way. When you have a 350, I think it's 350, not 250, a 350-foot slit from one end to the other, you think that's proof? You think that's proof?
Reporters have been down there today looking for that slit that you mentioned, and there's no evidence.
All you'd have to do is see the Parks Department. They'll show it to you. Or see the secretary. But I saw it. They cut it. They cut it very violently. The same thing with the floor. They cut it. And then they lifted it. They pulled it. And that's what it is. And, we've done over 50 monuments. Number one, we start with, this is now a safe city. It's as safe a city as you're going to get in the country. And when I came here, it was a very dangerous city. And number two, what we did is the beautification with the parks and the grass and everything, removal of all the tents. And this is like a different place. One of the things we did is over 50 fountains and statues, most of which were in horrible shape. All of them were bad, but some were just absolutely horrible. Graffiti, you couldn't even see the stone. They've all been fixed. We also fixed the reflecting pool. In fact, if you go over there right now.
So there was President Trump talking about the vandalism over in the reflecting pool of Washington, D.C., and you heard the reporter, well, you don't have any evidence of it. This is how it always starts, right? It's not happening. It's happening a little bit. It's happening a lot, and it's great that it's happening, and if you don't agree with that, you're a racist and you're a fascist. I, frankly, have had enough of this type of stuff happening. Well, you're just going to take Trump's word for it that somebody went in there with a knife? 5 were arrested. 5 more under investigation. Getting arrested, does that mean you definitely did it? No, of course not. You're innocent until proven guilty. You have the benefits of our legal system. If you're charged with a crime, you'll have your day in court to defend yourself. Fine. Would I put it past the left to do something like this? The answer is no. These are not stable people. These are not civilized people. These are not righteous people. They're animals. They're behaving like animals. And that is now on full display. It's on full display. They're behaving like animals, and it is on full display. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be back here to wrap up the first hour. I've got a fun story at the end of the first hour about my favorite fans of my favorite sport. And I'm being facetious. I'm not talking about the Buffalo Bills fans in NFL football, because they're my least favorite fans, although they are a passionate bunch. Little World Cup silliness we'll talk about in just a little bit on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, 855-839-1210 if you want to chime in. Shawn Farash here in the afternoons to wrap up hour 1 right after this.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Bring on the fun and bring home a new Honda with a great deal on your favorite Honda vehicles. And finally take that road trip you've been dreaming of. Now's the time to check out the Honda Civic and HR-V from Honda, the 2026 KBB.com best value brand. For a limited time, well-qualified buyers can get a 3.49% APR on a 2026 HR-V.
Visit Piazza Hyundai of Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, or Springfield today.
See dealer for financing details. Based on 2026 Consumer Choice Awards from Kelley Blue Book. Visit KBB.com for more information.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
We all want our kids to grow up safe and healthy, so we show them how. With honest conversations that let them know what we expect. That's especially important when it comes to alcohol and other drugs. And when it comes to pain medications, opioids, they need to know that they should never be shared with friends or family. For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
See website for details. BillsHappen.com is not a lender. It does not make credit decisions. Must be 18 years old. Not available in all states.
Honey, everything is so expensive, and our bills are piling up.
You're telling me credit cards are maxed out, rent is due, and the car payment's right around the corner? We need some extra cash.
We should do what my friend from work did. She went to BillsHappen.com and got the money she needed the next day.
Our credit is not great. Are you sure that would work for us?
BillsHappen.com is one of the largest personal loan networks. They can help people with all credit types get up to $5,000.
Sounds like it's going to be a hassle.
My friend said it was super easy. She did it right from her phone during her lunch break.
If you have a regular source of income, you can be approved for a loan for up to $5,000, and your cash can hit your bank account the next day. BillsHappen.com's lenders have millions of dollars to lend, regardless of your credit history.
Guess what? I went to BillsHappen.com, and we're getting our money tomorrow.
Wow, that's fast. Problem solved.
If you need extra cash, go to BillsHappen.com. That's BillsHappen.com. BillsHappen.com.
Hey, Westchester. We know your favorite station is Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
Right, there it is. Little technical. It was China. I promise you. It was China. It's okay. We're going to do it. We're going to be okay. 3:53. End of hour one. Can't believe we're at the end of hour one already. Time flies when you're talking about algae and crazy left-wing idiots. Right? For those of you who don't know what the Ahuya is, that is, there was a bunch of leftists who were dressed as Mexicans, and one of them was like a mariachi singer, and she started off, she goes, everybody, Ahuya! Ahuya! And we talk about that all the time. We use that as a funny clip to demonstrate the left's insanity on my show, rumble.com/LFATV. We were off today, didn't want to be. Little situation to handle in the morning. Take a look on X. I wasn't very specific, but we appreciate your prayers and support. I want to wrap up the first hour with a really funny story. I don't like soccer, okay? I don't like this World Cup thing. I'm rooting for the USA, of course, but I don't like soccer. I think it's a dumb sport. Well, you just don't understand. Maybe I don't. Yeah, and maybe I'm wrong. I don't think so. But the TSA in the airport is warning World Cup travelers, you know, these savages from other countries, these third worlders. And let's stop. Can we please stop falling in love? Oh, look at this European who thinks America is so good. Oh, good. Shh. Get out. You know what? I don't want anybody else coming into my country. You German, French, UK, stay in Europe, please. You got a bunch of problems there. Go stay in Europe. I don't need Europeans coming in here. All right. All right. World Cup travelers. The TSA is warning World Cup travelers ranch dressing. I guess they don't have that over in Europe. Ranch dressing belongs in checked bags. It's a real story. The TSA responded to World Cup fans discovering ranch dressing with some instructions for safe transport. June 19th, the Transportation Security Administration responded to the viral trend of World Cup fans discovering ranch dressing with some instructions for safe transport. TSA took to social media to offer advice for fans visiting the United States for FIFA World Cup games. Quote, who knew dip-lomacy? Wait, let's give it that Philly cheer. Where is it? Diplomacy would be achieved through addressing the obvious. Ranch is the king of condiments. The world is slowly discovering ranch pairs perfectly with pizza. No, it doesn't. Chicken wings, pretty good. Fries, I could see that. Onion rings, yes. Quesadillas, no. Crackers, depends. Chips, depends. Vegetable, yes. And the list just keeps on growing. Officials shared advice for traveling with ranch in a series of posts on Threads. Folks, this is how stupid Europeans and World Cup soccer fans are. How do you not know how to travel with ranch dressing? You need hand-by-hand instructions? One world, one ranch. Are you kicking around the idea of flying home with your favorite dip? If you're traveling within the United States, make sure you keep your carry-on sauces to 3.4 ounces or less and place any large containers in your check bags. Apparently, these posts came after multiple viral videos online showed World Cup fans discovering the condiment and announced they would be bringing it home to their country. Quote, please avoid chugging your ranch outside the security checkpoints. Quote, please avoid chugging your ranch outside security. The airlines will check it for you. Justin, I need your help here. You're the jury. Okay?
Yeah.
I need your help. If you had a bottle of ranch that you could not take home and you didn't feel like checking it, wouldn't you just, I don't know, throw it away, and then when you get home, order some ranch and they'll ship it to you? Why are you chugging the ranch? Does this make any sense? Is that gross or what?
Not in the slightest, but it doesn't surprise me when it comes to, like, Europeans are weird people to begin with, so them chugging ranch bottles in TSA lines does not surprise me. Oh, my God.
I have to chug the ranch so I can go home. Just throw it in the garbage, bro. It costs like $5 on Amazon. They'll ship you the ranch. You're going to guzzle the ranch and then sit next to somebody on that plane? Could you imagine how bad it's going to smell when that guy rips a big one on that plane? Are you kidding me?
Did you see Kraft is they're taking advantage of it, and they're releasing a TSA compliant ranch kit, which is like
smart by them.
Yeah,
great move by them.
It's a clear bag shaped like a luggage tag, and it has, I think, like enough of these tiny ranch packets so they're still TSA compliant. Because
great job out of Kraft.
Amazing marketing.
Great job out of Kraft, by the way. Bad job out of Europe. You guys got to produce some smarter people. So you're going to guzzle a bottle of ranch down? Why? So that doesn't go to waste? I get it. Like, I mean, ranch is good. Don't get me wrong. Never in my wildest dreams have I ever said, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this thing home. Let me chug it. Either check it or just throw it away and order more ranch. This is why we don't need soccer in this country. We don't need these stupid fans in this country. We don't need more Europeans in this country because they do stupid stuff like chugging ranch at a TSA checkpoint. Okay? Stupid. Go back home. Never come back. All right, when we come back to hour two, we'll kick off hour two with a really interesting story from the Dallas Federal Reserve. Something that we've known for a long time. Illegal aliens and affordability. There is a relationship. We knew it. And now we can say we've got some data. We told you so. Shawn Farash on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT 855-839-1210. Would you chug a bottle of ranch if you could not take it home through an airport? I don't think so, because you're not some sort of smelly European. We're back after this.
Eczema, eczema, eczema. So many ads for eczema products. But those fancy TV ads don't mention that those prescription products can cost thousands of dollars. There's a smarter way. It's Exoderm for eczema and dermatitis. Exoderm costs less than $20. Yep, less than $20. You don't need a prescription, and it's available on the first aid aisle of your local store. Exoderm contains the #1 doctor-recommended ingredient in a clean, hypoallergenic cream with no harsh additives or nasty chemicals. Exoderm, fast, effective relief from the itching and inflammation of eczema. This stuff really does work. Take back control. Heal eczema flares with soothing Exoderm Flare Control Cream. It's on the first aid aisle of your local drugstore, supermarket, and at Target and Walmart too. Exoderm for eczema. Now that's smart.
Looking for an auto repair shop you can actually trust? McCullough's Auto Repair has been serving Delco since 1999. They believe honesty, fairness, and friendly service still matter. Chuck and Ralph run the place. No matter your car's issue, they'll explain it in plain English and help you decide what really needs to be done now and what can wait. Chuck's motto is, I'll never steer you wrong. Call McCullough's at 610-446-1230 and ask for Chuck or Ralph, or visit McCullough'sAutorepair.com.
Recovery from mental and substance use disorders is real. It happens every day. You can recover. Discover hope and help.
Never give up on yourself.
Join the Voices for Recovery. For confidential information for mental and substance use disorders, call 1-800-662-HELP. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
ABC News, I'm Wayne Cabot. Just in, the Senate for the first time approving a war powers resolution to block the U.S. war against Iran.
On this motion, the yeas are 50, the nays are 48. The concurrent motion is agreed to.
It is symbolic. President Trump sure to veto, but enough Republicans did join Democrats. The timing for this made possible by the missed vote of Mitch McConnell, who's in the hospital. President Trump about the Iran statement denying his claim that they've agreed to allow full inspections of nuclear sites.
They're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. They know they're wrong.
Another $80 billion to fund the war is very cheap, says President Trump, to ensure that Iran doesn't get a nuclear weapon.
We know what they agreed to. I don't know why they have to say the things they say.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio.
The Pentagon is asking Congress for $80 billion to cover the cost of the war with Iran and other budget shortfalls. Lawmakers have been pressing the Trump administration to provide a more comprehensive price tag for this conflict. The last update from the administration had the cost of the war at $29 billion.
ABC's Mary Bruce at the White House. The Iranian national World Cup team is getting some relief after complaining about unfair restrictions on them by U.S. Homeland Security for its matches here. They'll now be allowed to arrive 2 days ahead of playing. During the first week of FIFA World Cup activities in Florida, first responders are dealing with dozens of heat-related incidents at Hard Rock Stadium. Dozens have died in Europe from the kind of intense heat that Americans are more accustomed to.
Most of Europe doesn't really do air conditioning. We know at least 40 people have died since Thursday alone, among them, sadly, 2 young children who were left in the back of a hot car. But the majority have died drowning, swimming in unsupervised water.
James Longman reporting from London. Today, France recorded its hottest ever average temperature. You're listening to ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I've been telling you all about the secret war on our cash and the free report you can receive a copy of by contacting Swiss America at 800-289-2646. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to their podcast on YouTube. Just search Swiss America Trading. The podcast can provide you a ton of vital information and financial news in the challenging and uncertain times we're in. Subscribe today. Learn more about BRICS, industry leaders, and their market predictions for the future, along with what you might expect to see in terms of precious metal performance in the weeks and months ahead. Message and data rates may apply.
Several Supreme Court rulings today. One that a Rastafarian cannot sue the Louisiana prison guards who cut his dreadlocks even though his religion holds his hair sacred. Another ruling gives ExxonMobil the right to sue Cuba for something that happened a very long time ago.
In a 6-3 decision split along ideological lines, Justice Brett Kavanaugh said that companies owned by the Cuban government can't argue they're protected by sovereign immunity to fight lawsuits over assets that were confiscated after Fidel Castro took power. Today's decision, as well as a similar case last month when the Supreme Court ruled against Cuba, comes as the Trump administration ratchets pressure on the communist country. The decision could open the door to more litigation over assets seized by the Cuban government, adding pressure on the struggling island nation. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
The Supreme Court also said that border agents in this country have the right to deport legal permanent residents who are green card holders if they commit crimes of moral turpitude. 8 protesters accused of having ties to Antifa were sentenced today to decades in federal prison for a shooting last July 4th outside of a Texas immigration center that wounded a police officer. The DOJ says they're part of what President Trump calls a terrorist organization, Antifa, the catch-all for far-left militants. The sentences range here from between 30 and 70 years. The actual shooter, a former Marine reservist, getting 100 years in prison. I'm Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Air conditioner, oh air conditioner, will you make it through the summer? If you don't, it'll be a bummer. Start your spring off right. We got huge rebates if that budget's tight. This is Jonathan Cans, and I am not a poet. I am, however, the third-generation owner of Marvin E. Cans Heating and Air Conditioning. We are the mainline's oldest family-owned HVAC company, and we are not private equity-owned. But we are experts in rebates, big ones. And right now, there are up to $2,300 in rebates available. Contact us at marvinecans.com. That's marvinekanze.com.
There's a reason that potato chips don't come in a clear bag.
There's only 8 chips in this bag.
That's why. It's only about 2/3 full. The rest is air. It's a lot like opening up your 401k at retirement. You get about 2/3 of it, and the rest goes to Uncle Sam. Jim Cipriotti at the Retire Ready Financial Group can help. His tax mapping process can help forecast what your tax bill will be in the future, and that way you can build a strategy now to potentially decrease your tax bill in retirement. In other words, more for you and less for Uncle Sam. Call today for your complimentary retirement tax mapping report, 610-894-7415. That's 610-894-7415, or find them online at retirereadyfg.com. And get Uncle Sam's greedy hands out of your retirement.
Hey, you've had enough.
With a complimentary tax mapping report from Jim Cipriotti. Investment advisory services offered through Retire Ready Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, Retire Ready Financial Group, LLC, NPN number 2083768.
WPHT, HD, WOGL, HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Auto Group Studios, experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations. Always live on the free Odyssey app. Free speech lives here. The WPHT Afternoon Show.
It's muted. That keeps happening. I'm going to have to get in touch with China. Tell them to leave my stuff alone. It's actually my computer. It's being ridiculous. All right. Well, you missed me say bad things about Philly. So there you go. I didn't say anything bad. Who said that? That's a leak. No good. Got my Darth Vader coffee mug. Look at this bad boy. The force is strong. With that coffee of color, I drink it of color. I don't drink it. You can't say black. You have to say of color, especially during Pride Month. Although I don't know what one has to do with the other than they're both a woke thing. We're going to talk about, by the way, the wokeness of Pride Month in a little bit. Probably top of hour 3, drive at 5, MLB. You heard about MLB? Right? They started, there was finger wagging. There was finger wagging going on at MLB. Did you really put a Bible verse on the hat? You are in violation of the uniform alteration, and there was pearl clutching. And there was, hold on, I apologize.
There was a little bit of Karening? How dare you? I want to speak to the manager now.
No, the Karen button's like a favorite. It's a fan favorite. Everyone loves the Karen button. Nobody loves Karens, but everyone loves the Karen button. All right. We're going to dive into a little bit of data here and a little bit of, I guess, the I Told You So segment of the day. We started the whole first portion of the show kind of cracking on the left for the whole algae thing. And it's like, oh, you're really going to spend that much time? I don't want to spend that much time. I just wanted to highlight how ridiculous these people actually are. They're nuts. They're like cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, right? Cuckoo for mother-loving Cocoa Puffs. But I want to talk about this new report from the Dallas Fed. And the report states something I've been talking about it for a while. I'm not the only one. I'm not taking credit for coming up with this theory. Dallas Fed report, Biden's record-breaking illegal immigration raised home prices for Americans. No. We were told that wasn't happening, right? We were told, no, that's racist to blame the high costs on brown people. Well, first of all, I'm not blaming it on brown people. I'm blaming it on people who are unlawfully present in the country. I don't care. But I want to be very clear. I don't care what, and I'm pronouncing the full H in that word. I don't care what you look like. I don't care what language you speak. I don't care what country you come from. I don't care who you are, what you look like, what your skin color is, what your native language is, what your religion is. It doesn't matter. That does not matter to me. When we're talking about if you're legally here or not, if you are illegally present in the United States, I don't care what you look like. I don't care what you do. I don't care what you sound like. That doesn't matter. Out you go. Get out. Leave. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit you where the good Lord split you. Out of the country. Gone. Go away. Go away. Okay? So they're like, oh, that's racist to blame, the affordability crisis on brown people. I'm not blaming it on brown people. I'm blaming it on illegal aliens. I'm actually blaming it on a white guy, Joe Biden, for throwing open the border. So there, it should pass your test now, right? It's the white man's fault, and the white man is Joe Biden. President Joe Biden's, this is on Breitbart. This is from a report from the Dallas Federal Reserve. President Joe Biden's record inflow of illegal aliens to the United States raised home prices and rents for Americans, a report from the Federal Reserve Bank of Dallas details. Biden's immigration agenda brought millions of illegal aliens into the United States in record time. By the end of the Biden administration, the nation's foreign-born population hit nearly 52 million, the largest ever in American history. Federal Reserve report reviewed the impact of illegal immigration on housing prices from nearly 2021 to early 2024 and found that adding more people to the United States population drove up costs. Yeah, no sugar honey iced tea, Sherlock. If you have, let me see if I could, if I have my patented Kamala Harris word salad fork, right? Patented Kamala Harris, look at this. It extends as the word salad gets larger. If you're watching on youtube.com/1210, it extends. Look at that. Nice and far. It can double as a back scratcher. It's a pretty valuable tool. If I'm trying to sell this word salad fork to an audience of one, and I say, this is $15, I want $15 for it, the audience of one may say, no, thank you. I'll find it somewhere else, or I'll wait till you bring that price down. However, if I have an audience of 10 and I say, here's this beautiful patented Kamala Harris word salad fork. It's a great prop on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Watch it on YouTube. It's a great prop on my show. We love it. It's fun. It's a back scratcher, the whole 9 yards. And I have an audience of 10 and one person says, I'll pay the $15, right? Well, now the cost of this has gone up. Previously, the market of one said this was not worth $15, but a market of 10 says it is worth $15. When more people are competing for the same amount, or in some cases, less goods and services, the cost of the goods and services increase. The costs increase. Supply and demand. More demand for the same or lesser supply, increase in costs. Less demand for the same or more supply, lower cost. The same level of demand for an increasing supply, lower cost, right? When you look at whatever the number is, whatever you believe it is, 10 million, 20 million, 30 million, 40 million illegal aliens in this country. These are people who are not supposed to live here. They're not supposed to be here. They have no legal right to be here. They are competing with you, your friends, your family, your children, your nieces, your nephews, your coworkers, whomever they may be. They are competing with you, lawful U.S. residents, citizens, non-citizens, doesn't matter. You're here legally. They're competing with those people for housing. They got to live somewhere. And when you have all of that increased competition and demand on the consumer side of things, you're going to see costs get driven up. That's just the way it works. Quote, according to the United States Congressional Budget Office, net entry of this category of immigrants added roughly 7 million people to the United States population over 21 to 24. 1.75 million per year. Nearly double that of legal immigration. To put this growth in perspective, net unauthorized immigration, that is, immigration of individuals who entered the country without being formally admitted for the purposes of immigration law. You could just scrap all these long-winded illegal immigrants, averaged only 0.1 million a year from 2000 to 2019 and was slightly negative from 2010 to 2019. We then turn to the effects of unauthorized immigration, illegal immigration, on the broader local economy, focusing in particular on the housing market. This is from the Fed report, by the way, guys. This is not from some right-wing outlet. The article that I'm reading from is on Breitbart, but this right now is cited directly from the report from the Dallas Fed. So don't accuse it's not right-wing bias. No. These are numbers. If you don't like the numbers, take it up with the former president. Don't take it up with me. First, we find that during the boom period, an increase in unauthorized immigrant worker flows equal to 1% of a local area's initial employment increased local house prices by 2.2% and increased local rents by 1.4%. The impact on rents is slightly smaller for single-family units and slightly larger for multifamily units. These magnitudes are similar to those found by Saiz in 2007 based on legal immigration over the 1985 to 1998 period. A back-of-the-envelope calculation suggests that illegal alien worker flows can explain about 30% of the total growth in house prices and 20% of the total growth in rents over the boom period. This report confirms what other studies have similarly found. Mass immigration has a severe impact on home prices for Americans, mostly driving up costs for first-time homebuyers. So the Democrats want to whine and scream and moan and claw at their faces about affordability, yet they are the biggest drivers of a major contributor to the affordability crisis, namely the cost of living, cost of housing, illegal immigration. More people in the country are competing for the same amount of goods. That drives up costs, and it has. This is a very, very simple concept. It's not racist to point this out. Before you had the influx of the Biden-era illegal aliens, you had a set number of housing and a set amount of demand. And now all of a sudden you added 10, 20, 30, 40 million people. Adding to the demand side, it's going to drive costs up. You also have the government subsidizing some of these illegal aliens' homes, apartments, whatever. So a landlord can kick out a tenant knowing I'm not going to lose that income all the time. The government will just fill that space with someone else. That creates an artificial floor in how much the rents are going to be. You saw rents increasing. Folks, you want to talk about affordability? We've been saying it. I've been saying it on this radio station for months. I've been saying it on my show, my show, rumble.com/LFATV. The show is called Ungoverned, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Please subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts. You look at the effect that the Dallas Fed is admitting this has on housing. Now think about healthcare. Now think about food. Now think about insurance. Now think about, the costs of vehicles. Anything else that you could think about it. It's not just housing that this is limited to. When you want to talk about affordability, you cannot talk about the affordability problem. And there is a problem in this country. Now, let me also say this. There is an affordability problem in this country. I'm not going to say it doesn't exist. But we also have another problem in this country. And whether it's the government or it's a lot of people, a lot, not all, a lot, not all. I'm not saying this about you. You're listening. That's not me. Oh, don't be offended. We also have a spending problem in this country. The government does it, but I've seen people do it too. You cannot spend money you don't have. At times you have to. I get it. I'm not saying everybody's got it easy and that, but at sometimes you don't have to. When Brennan, who's my wife, and I moved to Tennessee in 2023, we didn't have anything. We had a podcast that was barely allowing us to pay for the apartment. And not a lot of money coming in. So what we said is, we're going to have to, live the college dorm life for a little bit. Ramen noodles, rice-a-roni, pasta, bunch of junk food. Give ourselves a little bit of a footing and build from there. And that's what we did. You cannot spend money that you don't have regularly. Okay? So we have that problem too. Do you need the $10 coffee every day? Or would you rather 5 days a week put $50 back in your pocket? It's that simple. You can do that. You don't get your $10 coffee every day. Maybe you get it once a week and you're saving $40 a week. That's $160 a month. Think about that. But there is an affordability crisis in this country. That's true. Crisis, is that a tough word? It's accurate. Things are expensive. There is inflation. Yes. Adding more demand, adding more weight to the demand side of that scale is not going to lower costs. You need to get these people out of here. They don't deserve to be here in the first place. They don't deserve to be here in the first place. So why fight hard for them to stay when they're causing everybody else problems? Crime, affordability, overcrowding. That's why this information from the Trump administration has me very excited. 13 months in a row. Lucky 13. The Democrats claimed mass illegal immigration releases were unavoidable. There's nothing we can do about it. They're going to show up. We're just going to release them into the country. 13 months in a row. The Trump administration has done for 13 straight months what Democrats spent years insisting could not be done. They've stopped releasing illegal immigrants into the country after apprehension at the southwest border. And you know what this does? Not only does this not release the illegal into the country, right? Not only does this not release illegal aliens into our country, but it disincentivizes more illegals from trying. When you knew that if you got caught on the border, that eventually you'd just be released into some nowhere town in South Dakota or Arkansas or, Nebraska or wherever it is that these folks are winding up, you say, well, all right, fine. Even if I get arrested, I'm going to wind up getting released. I could disappear. I could live there for a little bit. It's fine. Now you're not getting released into the country. Now you're getting caught. You're spending the rest of your time in this country in detention. 13 months in a row of what could only be described as perfection. Now, that's not to say that zero illegal aliens have come into the country. That's not true. These folks who are being apprehended are sneaking in. Those numbers, those raw numbers are low, and none of them are being sent and released into the country. According to DHS, Border Patrol recorded 9,998, call it 10,000, apprehensions along the southwest border during May. That number is 94% lower than the monthly average under the Biden administration and 96% lower and below the peak of the border crisis. The May total follows similarly low numbers reported through Trump's second term. This is over on Red State. Border Patrol recorded 8,943 apprehensions during all of April. During the December 2023 surge under Biden, agents were processing roughly that many illegal aliens in just one day. Border Patrol has now remained below 10,000 apprehensions for 2 consecutive months. and 0 have been released into our country. Mark Wayne Mullen says the following: 13 straight months of 0 releases at the border. Under Trump's leadership, we are delivering the most secure border in American history. We're enforcing the nation's laws, quickly sending illegal aliens back to their home country, ensuring the safety and sovereignty of our nation. The fact that we are not releasing them disincentivizes those from crossing, knowing you're not going to get to disappear in our country. So you might as well not even try in the first place. See what happens when you enforce the laws as they're written? Shocking, I know. The laws work. 855-839-1210 if you'd like to chime in. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to get back and talk about something the DOJ is doing incredibly well. The war on fraud. We should all oppose fraud. We should all oppose having our money stolen. We should all oppose having our money siphoned out of government programs and used to buy watches and cars and homes and fund terrorism overseas. But again, as we mentioned in the first hour, if the Trump administration is against something, they're for it. And if they're for something, the left is against it. Now you're seeing them. It's fraud, remember? And we'll go through it all on the other side of this break. 855-839-1210. Shawn Farash on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. We're back after this.
A plane has crashed into one of the towers of the World Trade Center.
The events of September 11th changed our nation forever. As we approach the 25th anniversary, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT is looking to hear directly from those who experienced that day firsthand. Were you a first responder who answered the call on September 11th? Were you in New York City, Washington, or near Shanksville? Share your story as part of our special 25th anniversary broadcast, 9/11 Through the Eyes of, a collection of personal memories, reflections, and experiences from those whose lives were forever changed. If you have a first-hand account and would like to be considered for an interview, visit 1210WPHT.com. Let's remember, honor, and preserve them for future generations. Go to 1210WPHT.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aids.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
If you own a business, you've heard it all. From fast funding to easy approvals, everyone says the same thing. LendSeek is different. We show you what you actually qualify for. LendSeek's AI-enabled platform matches you with funding options with no guesswork. Up to $5 million in as fast as 24 hours. If you've been in business over a year, doing at least $50,000 per month, apply for free with zero out-of-pocket costs and access to over 100 lenders. Start ready, stay ready. LendSeek.com. LendSeek.com.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Tech, sponsored by Ethos.
There's a short list of trillion-dollar companies, and NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang thinks Marvel Technology could join that prestigious club. Huang told a trade conference that Marvel is poised to take advantage of the next phase of AI infrastructure growth, which could lead to a trillion-dollar valuation. Marvel has a new AI chip that it says is 25% more power efficient than rival data center chips. I'm Jason Brooks.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
This year, America celebrates 250 years, 2.5 centuries of courage, sacrifice, and family stories passed down from one generation to the next. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger, founders of Legacy Box. Your family's piece of the American story is sitting in an attic or closet right now, trapped on aging VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, film reels, and fading photos.
Those boxes hold moments you can never recreate. Your wedding day, your children's voices when they were little, grandparents coming back to life on screen.
Over 2 million families have trusted Legacy Box. And we've just partnered with the USO to digitize fragile handwritten letters from World War II, helping preserve American history for future generations.
As America turns 250, remember that your family is a part of the American story. Preserving those voices, faces, and moments is a part of your responsibility to the next generation. Don't let them disappear on your watch.
Visit legacybox.com/radio for our amazing America 250 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to save.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Weather sponsored by the Piazza Auto Group.
Some light rain will stick around this evening. Overnight, we'll get down to 61. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, not as humid, high 85. Thursday, high 86 with a mix of sun and clouds, but there could be a thunderstorm in the afternoon. Friday, it'll be humid again, high of 83, and thunderstorms possible in the afternoon.
Visit Piazza Honda of Philadelphia, Langhorne, Pottstown, Reading, or Springfield to take advantage of 2.99% financing for 36 months on the popular 2026 CRV and CRV Hybrid. Shop online today at PiazzaHonda.com.
Broadcasting live from the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Talk Radio 1210, WPHT.
It is 4:33 p.m., halfway through hour 2 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Also streaming on YouTube, youtube.com/1210 WPHT. Jump in the live chat, got a couple characters in there. Some friends, some foes. What I love the most about the foes on social media or in the YouTube chat or anywhere is I'd love to talk to them. I mean, I'm on air for 3 hours. Out in front of you. My ugly mug is there. You know, they say he has a face for radio. They say he has a face for radio. Think about it. I've got a face for radio. But now radio is like streamed digitally now. So like we all have to, even us ugly people, we can't hide anymore just on the air. Okay. I always invite the foes, the folks who disagree, to call 855-839-1210. And then they come up with excuses. Blah, 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 blah. You're not going to let me talk. You're not going to do this. I'm telling you to call in. And you're not doing it because you'd rather be a fake, phony, weenie, probably half Canadian, tough guy behind the keyboard, instead of let's like actually have a debate and talk on air. No, let's not. No, I can't do that. Can't do that. No, I'm at work. You're at work. Really? You're not working. You're trolling on social media. Unless, of course, you're admitting that's your job. Interesting. Okay. So if you want to chime in, and I would encourage you to do so, 855-839-1210. 855-839-1210. Let's get to this one now. Fraud. Remember they said that fraud wasn't happening. Remember Doge? Waste, fraud, and abuse? No, it's not happening. Oh, speaking of that, you know what? Speaking of that, speaking of fraud, waste, fraud, and abuse, and Doge, remember USAID? I remember getting calls on this radio station. If we defund USAID, children are going to die from AIDS. I mean, that's horrible. I hope that doesn't happen. But, I mean, are they American children or are they children in another country that separated from us by like a huge ocean? I mean, I don't want to see people hurt, but we have to put our people first. That's what America first means. What it looks like. You take away USAID and interesting. Did you see all the results in Latin America this go around? See all the results? Let me pull this up. This was End Wokeness put this up yesterday. Let me just pull this up. I'm going to find it. I know it's on my X feed. My X feed's been a little cluttered lately. Here we go. This is from a couple days ago. End Wokeness. 7 Latin American elections since USAID was defunded. Chile, a quote-unquote far-right member, caste, won. Bolivia, far-right Paz, won. Peru, quote-unquote far-right Fujimori, won. Ecuador, quote-unquote far-right Noboa, won. Honduras, quote-unquote far-right Asfura, won. Colombia, quote-unquote far-right Espriella won, and that was a big one. Huge upset in Colombia. Costa Rica, a far-right Fernandez won the elections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Latin American elections since USAID was defunded. All of the winners of those elections were populist / right-wing / Trump-aligned / anti-socialist candidates. I'm just saying. So you want to tell me that USAID was funding AIDS treatments in Africa? Well, it was also funding that in our own backyard. All right. Speaking of fraud, fraud's a big deal. We should all stand arm in arm against fraud. The DOJ announced that it has managed to claw back $5 billion in funds stolen by fraudsters. Fraud should be something that everybody opposes. Again, this should not be controversial. Why is it controversial? Because you're dealing with left-wing idiots. The same reason why illegal immigration is controversial. You know, as a matter of fact, Donald Trump was speaking in the Lehigh Valley today. Why don't we roll this one? This is just to piggyback off of last segment about illegal immigration. And specifically the fact they let in almost 12,000 murderers into our country. Let's roll this cut from Trump's speech in the Lehigh Valley today.
They even let 11,888 murderers into our country. Murderers, 11,888, more than 50% of which have killed more than one person. And I've gotten the worst of them out. We've gotten them out, Tom Homan and our whole group of people. But the Democrats want open borders and they want them all to come back in. You can imagine that. The people of this Commonwealth will never let that happen again. What they allowed to happen to our country, we can never allow to happen again.
So there's Donald Trump talking about the illegal immigration crisis. We just talked about last segment how that contributed to the affordability crisis in this country. Now we're talking about the fraud crisis, because think about it. If you're here illegally, it's a form of fraud. All types of fraud are fraud that should be stopped. Voter fraud, Medicare fraud, hospice fraud, Leering Center / daycare fraud, Social Security fraud, and so on and so forth. It's all bad. Our money is being stolen, and yet again, we're seeing the Democrats turn a blind eye towards it because why? A, those are some of their voters. B, Trump is trying to put an end to it. And if Trump is trying to put an end to it, it must be allowed to continue. Let's roll this cut from Todd Blanche. This is Todd Blanche talking about how the Department of Justice is bringing back $5 billion in money that has been stolen by fraudsters. Let's roll it.
Let's talk about some of the fraud that's going on across the country. We're talking about, in one case, $1.2 billion. I know you guys have in the Department of Justice an attorney general that strictly focuses on that. Y'all got this person. They were hiding in the Philippines. How did y'all get them back to the country?
Again, it was a good local partnership with the FBI, working with us and working with our international partners and making this a priority. So we are making getting fraudsters in jail a priority. And this guy had pled guilty many years ago in 2019 and then fled. And he's responsible for like over $1 billion of fraud. And so that's one example of the hundreds of examples. And just in the past 2 months, we've managed to bring $5 billion back to the coffers of this government that was just stolen by these fraudsters. So, and that's just a couple months. We're going to keep on doing it. The vice president leading that effort with President Trump, and then the DOJ. It's not just the DOJ. It's HHS. It's the Department of Education. The reason why the task force that the vice president is leading has been so effective is because it's an all-of-government approach to going and getting money that has been stolen from the generosity of the American taxpayer.
And many of these people that you're going after, I only got 30 seconds here, are not even legal citizens of this country.
That's right.
And some of them have become American citizens, and you guys want to denaturalize these people.
Right, and that's what every American should want. To become a citizen of this great country, there's a few things you have to do, one of which is be truthful, and another one is you cannot be committing crimes before you try to become a citizen, and unfortunately we've seen that too much.
And that's one of the most important parts of what Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche said there. It's not just jailing the fraudsters. It's not just getting the money back, which is very important. You know, you don't want if you can get the money back and return it back to the country's coffers, that's important. But it's also these denaturalizations. If you're trying to become a citizen and you're committing crimes in the process, or you're lying about, your criminal history in your country, or you're committing immigration fraud and lying about personal details or whatever to get into our country, we find out about it, you should be denaturalized and deported. American citizenship should not just be something that's just given to people. This is the greatest country on earth. And the cost for entry should be significant, because you're not just getting into the cheap seats. You're not just buying a cheap ticket, in the nosebleed so you get to see the game. If you want to be close to the action, if you want to be in a good seat at a sporting event, you're going to have to pay. And then you're going to want to make sure that you're behaving yourself in those seats so you don't get kicked out of the stadium. You don't walk in. I mean, you're talking about Philadelphia. They do this probably, stumbling in drunk and all that stuff. Because it's Philly. What else are you going to do? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Sort of, a little bit tiny. Not really kidding at all. Folks, gaining entry to this country, being allowed to call yourself an American citizen, being allowed to work here, being allowed to live here legally, it's not a right to those around the world. It is a privilege, and that privilege needs to be earned. $5 billion in fraud that was caught and returned back to the country. Here's another one, Todd Blanche. I love this. Where are the arrests? I get it, folks. I want to see some of these big names catch a few charges. I want to see some developments in the Russiagate case. I want to see the deep state held accountable right there with all of you. I'm not trying to minimize those concerns. I'm not trying to sound like a jerk. But every time we hear about fraud and stuff, we hear, nothing's going to happen to them anyway. Folks, stuff is happening. Let's roll this clip from Todd Blanche announcing hundreds of arrests in this fraud crackdown. Roll it. Hundreds of arrests, Todd Blanche. 455. Oh, no. Oh, no. We're having technical problems. We're having all these bad technical problems. Okay. Well, I can read for you with the things that he said anyway. Let's do that. Todd Blanche announced that the Department of Justice, in a $6.5 billion fraud scheme, has made 455 arrests across 45 states and American territories in a healthcare fraud crackdown since June 8th. It's June 23rd. Over the last 15 days, 455 defendants across 45 states and American territories have been charged for healthcare fraud schemes. It's pretty significant. Now, I saw people on social media, it doesn't really matter if they don't get convicted. Well, I mean, in a way, you're right. The conviction is the goal. But stop moving the goalposts. You want to see these people arrested, they get arrested. Now you want to see them convicted. I get it, but don't tell me the arrest doesn't matter if there's no conviction. This fraud task force is a big winner for the administration. Blanche detailed a couple of the schemes. There you go. Yeah, let's roll this clip. Let's let Todd Blanche do the talking. Go ahead.
Today, we are announcing federal and state charges, all of which were charged or unsealed at some point over the past 2 weeks, the past 14 days. Coordinated nationwide action. Since June 8th, we've charged 455 defendants across 56, like I said a minute ago, U.S. attorney's offices, and 45 U.S. states and territories. As alleged in the various indictments, these individuals participated in healthcare fraud schemes involving over $6.5 billion in false claims submitted to Medicare, Medicaid, and other healthcare programs. The team around me will get into more specifics, but here are a few points that stand out. In one indictment, we're bringing charges against a corporate executive in Arizona in connection to over a $1 billion fraud involving unnecessary wound grafts. This alleged scheme costs Medicare over $1 million per patient. In total, our indictment charges 11 defendants for over $2 billion in fraudulent claims in connection to alleged wound care schemes. The indictment also alleges that these individuals then used the taxpayer money to bankroll multi-million-dollar homes, luxury vehicles like a $135,000 Maserati, jewelry like an $865,000 Bulgari necklace, and to top it all off, to fund the construction of a $4.6 million hotel at a beach resort in the Philippines. We're taking back the money, the luxury cars, the jewelry, and these alleged fraudsters will face justice. The coordinated actions of the past 2 weeks have resulted in over $182 million in cash and other assets seized, making clear our healthcare fraud enforcement efforts generate a significant return on investment for our taxpayers.
$6.5 billion in fraud busted, 455 defendants arrested. This is just the beginning. There's going to be a lot more, I think, that comes with this. It's not getting enough attention because it's not a sexy topic. It's not the topic everyone wants to talk about, fraud. But it's important. Your money's being stolen. Nobody should be okay with this. And yet, just like I said at the beginning of the show, opening segment, first hour. If Donald Trump is not okay with something, the left loves it. Whether it's fraud or it's algae in a reflecting pool. That's a mental illness. And you cannot allow mental illness to take charge of our legislative branch this November. Everyone should stand against fraud. When we come back, I've got another funny story. Out of Texas. Oh, boy. This is a big one. And this would force me to move out of Texas if this happened near me. Don't want to miss it. We'll wrap up hour two with it's a story that stings. Think about it. We're back after this.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. They still gave me a medal. I don't want a reward for doing. I want a reward for dominating. Like Daily Prize Matcher on Bet365. I play for free and win real rewards, like up to $5,000 in cash weekly. Unlike that joker in denim. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically present in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. T's and C's apply.
If clutter is costing you time, fix it right away. Closet Factory designs and installs custom storage for closets, pantries, and home offices. Schedule a free design consultation at closetfactory.com. Closetfactory.com.
You matter, and so does your well-being. Call, text, or chat 988, New Jersey Suicide and Crisis Lifeline, for free 24/7 support with mental health, suicide, or substance use concerns for you or someone you love. A message from the New Jersey Department of Human Services.
Saw a t-shirt recently that said too much of anything is bad, unless we're talking about bacon. Now, we can debate that all day long, right? But the point is, portion control is a good thing. That can also be said about your retirement accounts. Too much risk, and you could get burned by a down market. Too conservative, and maybe you can't take that Alaskan cruise. Alan Cohen at Spectrum Wealth Partners understands portion control. He can build a retirement plan with a level of protection and risk designed specifically for you. And if you don't want any risk at all, he can do that too. Call Alan Cohen today for a free meeting to discuss it. 856-322-8686. That's 856-322-8686. Or online at SpectrumWP.com.
Advisory services offered through Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, and SEC Registered Investment Advisor. Concurrent Investment Advisors, LLC, and Spectrum Wealth Partners are not affiliated companies.
You know what I love? American-made products, baby. That's right. It's Rich Zioli. American-made products, and that's what you get from Emmons Roofing and Siding. Owens Corning shingles are made in New Jersey. Certainteed siding made right outside of Philly. Provia windows and doors handcrafted in Ohio. And because Emmons is platinum with Owens Corning, your roof comes with a lifetime workmanship warranty. That's accountability on American-made quality from an American company right in our backyard. EmmonsRoofing.com. EmmonsRoofing.com.
Summer is here, and so are the summer specials at Suburban Marble and Granite. Now is the perfect time to transform your home with premium stone and quality craftsmanship at up to 50% off. As they bring in more inventory, select styles and materials are available at incredible savings while supplies last. Don't miss this opportunity to upgrade your kitchen, bathroom, outdoor space, or custom project with stunning stone and expert installation. Take advantage of these limited time savings before they're gone. Suburban Marble and Granite. Endless possibilities, spectacular results. Visit suburbanmarble.com today.
I'm Dan Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Last year, millions of people called us for representation. Why? Because trust grows when you win, and we've won a lot. Over $30 billion and counting. When you call America's largest injury law firm, you're calling a family. You're calling an army, our army. You're calling somebody who will fight for you. Injured? Let our family fight for your family. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Morgan & Morgan, 2005 Market Street, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania lawyer will handle Pennsylvania cases. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
Hi, this is Larry Steinhaus, and I want to let you know that I buy houses. I buy houses from people that may be a tired landlord, maybe somebody who's having trouble selling their house, or maybe someone who needs to sell their house quickly. Well, all you need to do is call 855-939-1137. That's 855-939-1137, and I promise to answer the phone and help you with your situation. That's right, your house may be cluttered. It may be a house that a relative left you, or it may just be a house you just want to get rid of. 855-939-1137.
A message from Bradford White Water Heaters. How you heat your water matters, and you do have a choice. So choose efficiency, choose reliability, choose innovation. Choose a water heater that's manufactured in America using the finest components from around the world. Choose Bradford White. Still is and always will be built to be the best. So make the right choice. Ask your plumbing professional to install a Bradford White water heater in your home or business. Visit BradfordWhite.com to learn more.
Free speech lives here on Odyssey's #1 talk station. Talk Radio 1210. 1210 WPHT.
Welcome back. It is 4:54 p.m. wrapping up hour 2 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. I got a stinger of a story coming. Stinging. Sting. Get it? Okay. Texas. Let's go to Texas and think about it. Overturned truck releases. I'd be out of the state. I'd be out of the state in seconds flat. 2 million bees into a Texas neighborhood. Bees. And I was like, oh, they're pollinators. That's another reason why I hate them. No, bees are very important for the ecosystem. I totally get it. Like it's true. I'm not disputing that. Okay. But I don't like them. I don't like any animal that can sting or bite. And that does so regularly. Bees, mosquitoes, ticks, horseflies. Those things, they chomp you. Anything with a stinger should be banned from society right alongside soccer, which is the worst sport in the world and a stain on humanity that future generations will look back upon with immense shame. There are going to be people hundreds of years from now that are going to look back and hear about the World Cup and be like, wow, humans are just inherently evil species. They're going to look at soccer and be ashamed of it. You guys really played that fairy game with your feet? You couldn't touch the ball? Well, the goalie could touch the ball, really? And the ball had dots on it, really? A lot of the time now, I mean, I don't like soccer, but a lot of the time I do this just to get people upset. I guess you can call it rage baiting. I'm trolling, but I'm also somewhat serious. Hey, Justin, are you a fan of bees? Are you into bees?
I'm the same way as you. I understand the crucial role that they play as a pollinator, but God, as soon as I see a bee, I'm walking the other way with speed.
Yeah. Speed walking.
With immense speed walk. Power walking.
Yeah. Same thing with ticks, because I'm especially afraid of that alpha gall syndrome, and I don't want to lose the ability to eat red meats.
No, that would not work well for me. I wouldn't be able to do it. And because especially, Justin, because pork chops are considered red meat. And if I can't have my pork chops every night, we're going to have a problem.
Wait, what's the point of going on at that point? You can't have your pork chops.
Right. I mean,
terrible.
It's the deal, right? It's the deal. Andrew, are you into bees at all? You a bee guy?
My kids like watching bees on TV.
That's cool, but they're not in person. So you can't get stung to the television.
No.
Right?
No. Is it weird that I've never been stung by a bee? Like, is it weird? Like, I'm 32 years old.
I've never been stung either.
I've never been stung
either.
I've heard it's horrible.
A couple years on you.
You know, like
I'm 35. Never been stung.
Never been stung. No idea. I have no idea what it feels like. Not a clue.
It's not fun. I'll tell you that much.
I'm pitching a perfect game. That's you know what?
In the 35th inning.
35th inning, and we're going to keep going. Okay. Orange County Emergency Services in District 4 said on Facebook that an 18-wheeler overturned near the intersection of Colony Drive and FM 1130 in Mauriceville on Sunday in Texas. The truck was hauling 50,000 pounds of bees, an estimated 2 million insects when it overturned. I would not want to be near that. They would have been pissed. Imagine bees. They're all mad out of the truck, just zipping them. Zzz. The area was soon swarming with escaped bees. I'd be out of there in seconds flat. This is funny. Let me see if I can do this through vMix. The pictures of these beekeepers, like, look at that. You see them? They're like,
oh my God.
The truck is not. Yeah, that's a problem. Like, there's just bees everywhere.
Dude,
imagine like your neighborhood gets taken over by that.
There's almost more bees than human. Like, it's like the bees are taking over the shape of the human body at that point.
Can't do it. Can't do it.
Not a chance in this world.
I think bees should be illegal, but they do play a role in the ecosystem. But for example, there's no reason for mosquitoes to be a thing. You know, what do? Nothing. Not like they're pollinators. Okay, the bats eat them. The bats can eat something else. You shouldn't be. You're a tiny bug. You shouldn't be allowed to bite me. I'm a human. I'm huge. I could step on you and I could just swat you. You shouldn't be biting. That's just, I don't know. I don't like it. But if a tractor trailer hauling 2 million bees went overturned, you know, near I-24 here in Murfreesboro, I don't know what I'd do. I don't go outside that much to begin with. We don't have that much time, but I don't like bees. I don't like wasps. I don't like any of these things with stingers. If you have a stinger, I don't like you. So 2 million bees in Texas on the loose in a neighborhood. Good luck. Because now who knows if they're going to reproduce and you're just going to be like bee central. You'll have a lot of honey, but that's about all that I think that would be good for. Anyway, stay out of Mauriceville, Texas, if you don't want to get stung by escaped bees from an overturned tractor trailer. What do you think the odds are that the driver of the tractor trailer maybe was one of those illegal aliens with a CDL, and that's why the bees got out? Who knows? Maybe there's more to this story. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about MLB. the nonsense they pulled with the Pride hat fiasco. There's a lot of mixed messaging coming out around this. Players weren't supposed to be writing on their hats, but they were the Pride hats and all this. We will talk about it because I'm a sports guy, and I want to see these athletes play the sport that they love and that they're good at and leave it at that. We'll talk about that when we come back to kick off hour 3. It's the Drive at 5. Shawn Farash on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT, 855-839-1210. Back after this.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Contradicting statements. ABC's Karen Travers.
President Trump Tuesday insisting the Iranians have agreed to allow nuclear inspectors into their country, despite a spokesman for Iran's foreign ministry saying they have no plans for that.
They're wrong. They're wrong. They're wrong. They know they're wrong. They told us inside, and we have it down 100% inspections. And if they were right, I'd cancel the meetings right now.
Asked when inspectors would actually be on the ground in Iran, the president said there is no rush. It will be at the appropriate time. Vice President Vance Monday said he expects the inspectors to start their work this week. Karen Travers, ABC News, the White House.
The Supreme Court rules border agents may remove green card holders who may have committed a crime involving moral turpitude. It also ruled that a Rastafarian former prison inmate in Louisiana cannot sue guards for cutting his dreadlocks against his will. And the High Court ruled that if you lose your house in a tax sale, you are not owed fair market value from the government. Bargain hunters are all over Amazon today looking for those Prime Day deals.
Amazon's summer sales event is kicking off today, and it'll run through Friday. Adobe Analytics predicts it'll likely drive over $26 billion in spending over 3 days, a 9% jump from last year.
ABC's Jim Ryan, a sell-off in tech stocks today. You're listening to ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
I've been telling you all about the secret war on our cash and the free report you can receive a copy of by contacting Swiss America at 800-289-2646. I'd also like to encourage you to subscribe to their podcast on YouTube. Just search Swiss America Trading. The podcast can provide you a ton of vital information and financial news in the challenging and uncertain times we're in. Subscribe today. Learn more about BRICS, industry leaders, and their market predictions for the future, along with what you might expect to see in terms of precious metal performance in the weeks and months ahead. Message and data rates may apply.
I'm Lindsay Davis. For the latest on today's headlines, be sure to watch Prime tonight starting at 7 Eastern on ABC News Live. Now, more news.
Fox News poll out says voters care more about protecting public health than lower food prices. This viewpoint shared by Republicans, Democrats, and independents. Voters are being heard today in Utah and 3 East Coast primaries, South Carolina, Maryland, and New York. President Trump visiting Mack Truck in Pennsylvania's Lehigh Valley claimed credit for the election result in California's governor's race for Steve Hilton after a long wait for mail-in votes to get counted. Trump saying that he made a phone call, and not long after they told him Mr. Hilton has won. Hilton will face off against Democrat Javier Becerra in the fall. Today, France broke its record for hottest day in history. 40 have died across France under a heat dome that is also affecting Italy, Spain, Britain, places where air conditioning is generally uncommon. Meta is not commenting on reports today out of the New York Times that it's working on an odds-making app similar to Polymarket and Kalshi. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Daryl Hall of Hall & Oates fame has a brand new kidney, and he thanks a generous living donor. Daryl Hall's 79 now and expects to be back in Daryl's house for more shows soon. I'm Wayne Cabot, ABC News.
Hot summer days and high energy bills are on the way. Upgrade your home's old leaky windows this month during Window Nation's Buy 4 Get 4 free sale. Yes, half of your new beautiful energy efficient windows free. Plus no money down and no monthly payments or interest for 2 years. Call now 866-200-8670 or windownation.com. In select markets, trust our family of brands, New South Window and ArmorView. That's 866-200-8670 or windownation.com to book a consultation.
Is life insurance still on your list from earlier this year? Now is the perfect time to just get it done. A buddy told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I added this to my list this year and got it done. I called SelectQuote and was shocked at how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $18 a month. My wife's also 40 and her $5,000 policy was only $16 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, no medical exam was required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Checking this off my list felt great, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-5858 for your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-5858. Or go to SelectQuote.com. That's 1-800-280-5858. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
WPHT, HD, WOGL HD3, Philadelphia. From the Piazza Premium Automobile Studios.
Powering your drive with 10 brands and 20 locations.
Always live on the free Odyssey app. Now, The Drive at 5. 30 minutes of nonstop talk from Talk Radio 1210 WPHT.
It is 5:07, hour 3 on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Shawn Farash with you. The Drive at 5. We're going to talk a little bit MLB, this Pride Night fiasco that they have embroiled themselves in. I think they could have avoided it too, but they decided to mess around and pander to both sides of the aisle. There's no both sides here. But before we get to that and letting sports be sports, we do have a caller. I'd like to get to G from South Jersey, a little bit on the alpha gal syndrome, I guess in response to the B segment last hour, finishing up last hour. Let's go to G from South Jersey. What's up, G?
Thank you for taking my call. Good show today. Yeah,
Thanks,
I was
G.
hoping somebody would bring up about the alpha gal because, due to the fact we live in a country where people can't leave anything alone, they got to mess with stuff. They've tweaked it genetically to it's not just beef anymore. It's mammals. So we're out of our pork chops. We're out of our pork line. And the worst part is it's any product that comes from a mammal, like cow's milk.
Yep.
So if you can't eat beef, pork, or anything like that, that's really going to put a hurting on the economy. But, these rich people don't care. From what I understand, one of the people that is in charge of making this as bad as possible, Mr. Gates, he decided that
too.
Yeah. He decided that if he can't make people stop eating meat, he will force them to stop eating meat.
Yeah, I've heard that too. And I don't like that they're playing around with this. Gee, I appreciate the call. Now, this thing has been around for a bit, but it's more prevalent now. And it could be a factor, multitude of factors here. It could be that we're hearing about it more because we're all, connected more on the internet more. But it also does look like it's something that is a little more widespread. The good news on alpha gal is there have been cases now of it resolving. So I just hope it never happens. And I think there's something to it. Right. So, but good call. And be safe out there. Watch for ticks, spray yourself. There's also tick-borne illnesses that can hurt your pets. There's this thing called bobcat fever, which is just nasty. It's the Lone Star tick as well. So be careful. And if you're going out in the woods and stuff, do your tick checks and bring your bug spray and do the best that you can to avoid getting bit by one of those just awful animals. Awful. There's those bugs. I can't stand them. They should be illegal too. And, if they're genetically modifying it and this can be, proven, obviously that would be, I'm not saying that I don't think it's happening. I'm saying if we want to see something, legal action taken, there's got to be some pretty conclusive ironclad proof. And I wouldn't doubt it. We saw what happened with COVID. They lied to us about that too. All right. I want to get to this. Major League Baseball. Seems like they can't get out of their own way. And most of these sports leagues can't get out of their own way when it comes to social issues. And I'm not telling you that athletes should not be allowed to use their voice. I'm not telling you that athletes, have to, the whole, shut up and dribble. Like, no, this is America. You can speak. You have your First Amendment right to free speech. That said, when you're at work, there are different rules. All right. The First Amendment does not say, Walmart shall fire no worker for political displays. It says Congress shall make no law. Right. Major League Baseball, the NFL, the NBA, not really the NHL. The NHL flirted with this in 2023. And then Ivan Provorov, you remember, we're on a Philly station. He played for the Flyers when he did this, refused to take part in the Pride Night, cited his religion. He's an Orthodox Christian, Russian Orthodox Christian, I believe. And he just refused to take part in it. And that kind of set forward a trend. And the NHL said, well, whatever. We're not going to force anybody to do this anymore. But Major League Baseball and the NBA and certainly the NFL, they love the pandering with the social issues. They get virtue signal. They get these social justice points. They get these woke points. Look at how many pride-themed things and trans this and BLM that and social justice and all that. And it's all it seems like a lot of the time that they're prioritizing those issues versus, putting forth a better product on the field or on the court. So my question is this, like, when did sports stop being sports? Think about that. When you were a kid, why'd you watch baseball? Or if you watch baseball now, why do you watch baseball? Do you watch baseball because they're advancing a social cause? Was it because the league office was trying to shape American culture? Or were you, like me, a little younger, watching baseball because, and granted, some of these guys were cheating, but they were all cheating. So, like, if they're all cheating, then nobody's cheating. Because you had Hulkamania, like massive people like Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, Jose Canseco hitting balls 9,000 miles into orbit because it was entertaining. I watch baseball because I enjoy the sport of baseball. A lot of people around the world, I believe there's something wrong with them, but it's fine. A lot of people around the world watch soccer because for whatever reason, they enjoy soccer. I watch hockey because I enjoy hockey. It doesn't need to be my team. I watched the Stanley Cup Finals this year. I watch hockey because, and I watch it every year because I enjoy hockey. You watch baseball because you want to see baseball played at the highest level in the world. I watch the NFL. People, you should boycott the NFL. It's woke. I'm not telling you the NFL ain't woke. It's definitely a left-leaning organization without a doubt. But why do I watch it? Because it is the only place where I can watch football played at the highest level on the planet. Until you can find me a better product, you can say, college football. It's a different game, and it's not better than the NFL. It's good. I watch it, but it's not better than the NFL. You watch baseball because you want to watch the sport. You watch baseball because there was a pennant race. You watch baseball because there was a compelling rivalry. You watch because your team was down 2 runs in the bottom of the ninth and somehow found a way to pull off a miracle comeback. You watch baseball because you watch sports because sports, one of the few places left where you could go into a stadium. It doesn't matter who you voted for. You come together with people wearing your team's colors and you enjoy competition. And then social issues started to seep in. I'm not telling you that a guy like for example, Colin Kaepernick, can't have political views and speak about his political views outside of the game, by all means, you're an athlete. That gives you a platform. You could start a foundation. I may not agree with what you're saying, but you have the right to say it. And I will always defend you. I will always defend your right to say what's on your mind. This is a republic. It's a free country. We have the First Amendment for this reason. Say what you want. It's when the league as a whole embraces one side of this discussion and shuns the other. Reports indicate that various members of the San Francisco Giants were warned against writing Bible verses on their Pride Night gear. You must not do that. You're altering the uniform. Okay. Now, I get why MLB has this rule in place. Okay? I get it. You don't want to give the players, whether it's a pride hat or a regular hat or jersey, you don't want to give the players free rein to scrawl anything on their uniforms, right? Whether it could be in incendiary rhetoric, it could be, symbols that offend people. Again, to the beginning of this conversation, let sports be sports. I tune in to watch baseball, not even because my team wins a lot. I'm a Texas Rangers fan. I tune in to watch baseball because I like the game of baseball. I don't tune in to see what so-and-so has written on the hat on their written on their hat that day. It's not about whether you're religious. It's not about whether you're conservative or liberal. It's not about whether you support Pride Night or you oppose Pride Night. The issue here is consistency. The issue here is fairness. The issue is whether sports leagues have created a system where one set of beliefs is celebrated while another set of beliefs is viewed as a problem. And that has happened in sports. And that is not right. And fans are starting to notice. The average sports fan, by the way, is not some sort of radical activist. The average sports fan isn't spending every waking hour arguing about politics on social media. The average sports fan is trying to get through the work week. He's coaching Little League. She's picking up kids from school. People are paying mortgages, paying for grocery bills. They're trying to survive in an economy that, has its issues right now. And after dealing with all that, their escape for years has been, let's just turn on the game. They just want to watch a baseball game. They didn't sign up for a lecture. They didn't sign up for a political rally. They signed up to watch a baseball game, not engage in cultural debate. They want to watch baseball. But for whatever reason, sports leagues seem incapable of understanding what the fans actually want. Again, if a team wants to celebrate some cause, for example, breast cancer or autism or veterans, America 250 or Pride Night, whatever, the teams will do what they want to do, and that's that. My problem is the way the leagues as a whole are conducting themselves and the bias that is on full display. I'd prefer if all of these issues were out of sports, off the field, but athletes, just like celebrities, whatever, they're now going to be looked to culturally for some sort of direction, which I think is silly. These are people who play a game. Somewhere along the lines with all this, executives convinced themselves that fans wanted every aspect of sports infused with social messaging. No. Most fans are exhausted They're exhausted because every single institution in America seems determined to tell them what they should think. Every company's got a statement. Every celebrity has a statement. Every corporation has a statement. Every social media platform has a statement. Every entertainment company has a statement. And now every sports league has a statement. Guys, gals, if you're running a sports league, if you're in charge of hockey, if you're in charge of basketball, if you're in charge, stop with this. We don't need to do this anymore. We don't need to do this anymore. You're not scoring any points with your actual fan base. Everybody now wants to be the moral authority. Everybody wants to be a cultural leader. Everybody wants to shape society. And again, I'm an activist. I like these things. That's totally fine. But if I was an athlete, my job is to play that sport at the highest level possible. It's not to be some sort of cultural finger wagger. Fans are sitting there going, can't we just watch the game? Can't we just, after a long workday, turn on the TV, go to your favorite, whatever your regional sports network is, and watch a baseball game? That's all we're asking. Can't we just watch the game? Again, I'm not saying athletes can't have opinions. But why must the leagues, these sports leagues, shove one set of opinions down our throats every year? You know what made sports special? Sports were one of the last places where politics didn't matter at all. You got a packed stadium. You're a Republican. There's Democrats in the stadium. Do you care? I don't. If I'm watching the Texas Rangers play a baseball game, I don't care if the guy left or right of me voted for him. It doesn't matter to me. Go Rangers. You've got Republicans, you've got Democrats, you've got conservatives, you've got liberals in these stadiums, you've got Christians, you've got atheists, you've got people who agree on absolutely nothing. But they're all wearing the same jersey. They're all high-fiving after a home run. They're all celebrating the same win if your team's lucky enough to win. I don't know what that feels like. I do in 2023. For 3 hours, all of those differences don't matter. That's what made sports great. Sports didn't unite people because everybody believed the same thing culturally. Sports united people because belief systems didn't matter. All you want to do is see your team win. It's an escape. The game was bigger than all that stuff. But today it feels like we're constantly being asked to pick a side. And that's where the controversy surrounding the Bible verses becomes important. If the league's position is that special event gear shouldn't be used to express personal beliefs, then fine. At least there's a standard. People may disagree with it, but it's a standard. But if Pride Night is promoted by the league itself, or in this case, the San Francisco Giants, the Los Angeles Dodgers, they had been grandfathered in to have special Pride Night gear because they have had a long-standing relationship with the LGBTQ community. The league is fine with. The league's fine with it. If that's integrated into the event itself, the baseball game, then a player expressing his Christian faith becomes the problem. People are going to ask questions. Why the double standard? Fair questions. Consistency. What happened to equal treatment? Why are certain viewpoints welcome while others are just tolerated? And those questions are not going away because Americans have a pretty sensitive radar for double standards and hypocrisy. We know what fairness looks like. We know what equal treatment looks like. And we know what selective enforcement looks like. Now, the good news with this baseball story, okay, is MLB seems to have backed down. And Rob Manfred is now passing the buck to the San Francisco Giants. Says MLB will not discipline the Giants pitchers who wore Bible verses on their caps during recent Pride Night, with the league pointing to a, quote, lapse in communication between the team and its players that created a political issue for the league. In response to a letter from Senator Josh Hawley, League Commissioner Rob Manfred said the Giants did not outline to its roster that participation in the June 12th Pride Night was voluntary. What was not permissible, though, was adding personal messages to the uniform, something that is a collective bargaining issue between MLB and the MLB Players Association. Now, my question is, if it's voluntary, wearing the Pride hat is, I think, a personal message and a political message. At least it has become synonymous with that. The league issued warnings to those players, a move that prompted Josh Hawley to accuse MLB of a pattern of discrimination against Christian players. The United States DOJ also initiated an investigation into the issue, referred it to the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission. Rob Manfred insisted Hawley's claims were inaccurate and blamed the San Francisco Giants organization for not correctly explaining uniform rules to the players. Quote, unfortunately, this year, the Giants' communication with players was inadequate and not clear. Some players apparently did not understand that they had the option to wear their normal uniform and elected to add messages to their hats bearing the Pride logo as a result. There shouldn't be hats with a Pride logo. If you are trying to have a Pride night, I don't like it. I don't agree with it. I don't support it, whatever. But when you start making alterations to the uniform and not just, maybe you're giving away something at the stadium, the first 5,000 fans maybe they get the Pride hat. The players shouldn't be wearing it on the field. And if the players are wearing that on the field, then other players should be allowed to write Bible verses on their hats. If one is not allowed, none should be allowed. If one is allowed, all should be allowed. And I understand why MLB doesn't want to let this happen, because you're going to wind up with players who are writing some cryptic stuff, or they're going to be making political messages, and it's going to take away from the game, and it could offend people. And how long until you get somebody who, has a beef with some of the other players on there and writes their number and cross, there could be issues. Why don't we just go back to playing the game? Because that's why that league exists. MLB exists because it's baseball played at the highest level in the world. The NFL exists because it's football played at the highest level in the world. The NBA exists because it's basketball played at the highest level in the world. Why don't we get back to just doing that? Play the game, focus on the sport, focus on why people are drawn to those leagues. People are not drawn to baseball, basketball, football. They're not drawn to these sports because these athletes are going to lecture them and wear Pride logos. They're drawn to these sports because these athletes are phenomenal at what they do, and that is playing sports. Let's get back to that and leave this other crap in the rearview mirror. People are tired of being lectured and categorized and divided. Let sports be sports. Let it be about who played harder, who executed better, who earned the win. Maybe it's time we remember that's why we watch. Maybe it's time these leagues understand that. Maybe it's time sports got back to being sports. That's exactly what fans have been asking for a long time. What do you think? MLB, 855-839-1210. You can give us a call. We'll get back on the other side of this break with more on the MLB situation and a couple of other things to look for out of the Supreme Court and a couple of other stories when we come back here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. It's Shawn Farash taking you all the way to 6 o'clock, 855-839-1210. We'll be back with more through hour 3 right after this.
You can listen to Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the iHeartRadio app.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. How many times are you going to listen to my voice before you finally go to investorschooling.com? I can't believe you haven't signed up for a class yet. You're going to learn real estate investing. You're going to learn stock options trading. You're going to learn things about money that you didn't even know existed. Go to investorschooling.com right now. Oh my goodness. This Thursday, investorschooling.com, and take that free class. See you there.
Experience matters, especially when you're making an investment in your next vehicle. At Lexus of Cherry Hill, they've built their reputation the right way. Veteran and family owned and operated, and recognized as an 8-time J.D. Power Dealer of Excellence for the customer sales experience. From the refined Lexus RX to the powerful and capable GX, you'll find performance, luxury, and reliability in every model. Visit Lexus of Cherry Hill in Mount Laurel or lexusofcherryhill.com. Lexus of Cherry Hill, doing business the right way. For J.D. Power of Excellence information, visit jdpower.com/US-DOE.
Jim Cipriotti at Retire Ready Financial Group doesn't need Google to know you're worried about retirement. Between inflation, rising taxes, and the uncertainty about Social Security, he understands. That's why he offers a complimentary retirement second opinion. It's a no-obligation meeting for you to talk about your concerns about retirement. You want to know if you're going to be okay? Let's find out. 610-894-7415 or go online, retirereadyfg.com.
Insurance and annuities offered through James V. Cipriotti, NPN number 2083768.
Hey, Dawn Stensland here. While the sun's out and the summer's in full swing, Kitchen Magic wants to help you fall back in love with your kitchen. They're a family-owned business right in Nazareth, PA since 1979 and for over 45 years, promising high quality and craftsmanship. This summer only, 40% off installation with flexible financing options for every budget. Don't wait for someday. Visit kitchenmagic.com and build something beautiful together. kitchenmagic.com. Tell them Dawn sent you.
Hey, this is Larry Steinitz with Investor Schooling. I've been talking about myself for all these years. Now it's time for you to hear from one of our great clients.
Investor Schooling lives up to the promises. Larry's a great teacher, teaches about the whole new approach to thinking about money. I've taken to heart many of the things that he's taught me, and my financial life has improved.
Come to Investor Schooling, and you could be just like Charlie and change your financial life. Go to investorschooling.com. We will see you Thursday.
In Philadelphia, Chase is proud to root for the home team because they're our team too. We cheer from the bleachers and on the sidelines. We cheer for gymnasts and quarterbacks. And with more than 80 local Chase branches and 5,000 nationwide, we are right beside you, Philadelphia. Neighborhood bankers, digital tools, national strength. Chase, make more of what's yours.
JP Morgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC.
Giving your liver a spring cleaning is easy with Active Liver from New Nordic. Search for Active Liver by New Nordic on Amazon, CVS, Wegmans, or GNC.
Talk Radio 1210 WPHT from the Piazza Auto Group Studios. Experience the power of one with 8 brands and 25 locations.
There it is. More cowbell. We love the cowbell. I get along very well with the cowbell. I get along well with the cows, too. Think about it. Joy Behar, Whoopi Goldberg. I call them the zoo. Old McDonald's had a farm. And on that farm, they had Sonny Hostin. Right? Think about her. She's horrible. Don't fear the Reaper. The Blue Oyster Cult. All right. 855-839-1210 if you want to chime in. MLB stepping in it a little bit. These sports leagues stepping in it a little bit. With the lectures, this is the problem. It's the lectures that that I think we're all tired of. And especially lectures from left-leaning groups, okay? I no longer want to hear about a cult from leftists. A cult. Quite literally, the ones behaving cultishly are the ones who say, vote blue no matter who. Right? The ones who are behaving cultishly are the ones who they don't think for themselves. They see Donald Trump do something, and that determines what they're going to do. I get this accusation all the time. Oh, you defend everything Trump does. Well, I don't. For the last, I don't know, month or so, I've been very impatient and upset with what was going on with Iran. I thought we should have resumed the military campaign. I thought we should have continued bombing them, and we were chasing our tails. Right? That's just one example. I don't like that he endorsed Lindsey Graham very early. That's another example. I took issue with some of the messaging surrounding Minneapolis, for example, and ICE and all of that. Here's the Democrat Party, and we talked about this in hour one, Democrat voters, etc. They'll be the first to lecture you about why you're doing something terrible. They'll be the first to lecture you about how you're a fascist or a bigot or you're intolerant and all, and they will just, it's like they don't own a mirror. It's like they don't own a mirror. And let me show you something, okay? This is from Trump's speech. He was talking about Graham Plattner. You know Graham Plattner. He's got a Nazi tattoo, okay? If I told, and the people say, you shouldn't say this, well, this is the left who's throwing these labels around. If I had $1 for every time some buffoon on the left called me a Nazi, I wouldn't need AIPAC to fund me every day. It's a joke. It's a joke. Shawn just admitted it takes money from AIPAC. Well, I'm trolling you. If I had $1 for every time somebody on the left called me a Nazi, I wouldn't need to work. I'd be able to sleep all day. Because it happens like multiple times a day. Not because of anything I do. Not because of any tattoos I have. Not because of any beliefs I hold. But because that's what the left does. Oh, you're a Nazi. You're a Nazi. So that you paint. It's what Bongino talks about all the time. You see, we think liberals are people with bad ideas for the most part. Liberals think we are bad people. Therefore, all of our ideas are bad. And if they can convince the middle that, hey, those guys and gals over there wearing the MAGA hat, they're bad people. So any ideas that they have are bad ideas because they're bad people. Right? That's the way they're thinking and characterizing it. Meanwhile, they clearly don't own a mirror. Let's roll Donald Trump. This is a cut from his speech in Lehigh Valley, talking about Graham Plattner. Let's roll this.
I never heard these people say, we will raise your taxes. This country has gotten very strange politically, especially with all the communists that are up for election. You know, you have communists. These aren't socialists. These are communists. And they're all up. How about the guy in Maine? He's got the Nazi stickers. He's got the whole deal. And they're trying to say so for 8 years, 10 years, they said Trump is a Nazi. Now they can't say that anymore because they have a guy with a tattoo on his chest. It's unbelievable. But they voted against no tax on Social Security. They voted against no tax on tips. They voted against no tax on overtime. And if they got into office, you will have all of those taxes and all of that money that you're saving, including the big savings on Social Security. It's going to all be terminated. You're going to have to start paying it.
Imagine your main strategy when you're attacking Donald Trump, his supporters, anybody who holds views that maybe align with some of his policies. Imagine your main line of attack is Nazi. They're Nazis. Trump supporters are Nazis. Republicans are Nazis. Fascist. You guys are the Nazis. Third Reich. They're bringing it back. Imagine. And then you get behind a guy in Maine running for U.S. Senate with a Totenkopf tattoo on his chest. The Totenkopf, which he knew was a Nazi symbol when he got it, according to folks familiar with him when he got the tattoo. He's bragged about what the tattoo actually means. You are going to defend that guy after calling everybody you disagree with a Nazi? Really? I want to play this cut from Cory Booker. Cory Booker decided he was just going to say the quiet part out loud. Hey, why are you getting behind? Why are you getting behind Graham Plattner in Maine? Why are you doing that? Well, Cory Booker says the quiet part out loud. Spartacus glossing over the issues with Graham Plattner. Play this.
Those opportunities to elect a new leader is in Maine. We have a competitive contest. Democrats just nominated Graham Plattner. Despite past offensive comments about a tattoo associated, or past offensive comments, he's got this tattoo that's associated with the Nazi symbol. He also said he didn't understand its meaning. He's covered it up. And he's also faced allegations from former girlfriends of abusive behavior, which he denies. Do you think Graham Plattner has the character to serve in the United States Senate?
Well, this is what campaigns are for. He certainly has a lot of issues and a lot of questions to answer and address. And I think the people of Maine are going to give a lot of examination to this going through in this election. For me, I certainly hope we pick up a seat here. For me and people of the state of New Jersey, dear God, we need to get the Senate back so we can start checking this out-of-control president. And that's why, again, I'm going to be doing everything I can all over my state of New Jersey and everywhere I can to help candidates across this country to get to that end, which is Democrats regaining control of the House and the Senate so we can check and balance a president that's chaotic, cruel, and corrupt.
Well, you mentioned Texas and Ohio. Will you campaign in Maine?
I don't have any plans to campaign there now.
Okay. So, yeah, he has a Nazi tattoo, and yeah, he's got a checkered past, and yeah, he's got a ton of allegations about him abusing women. And if Republicans did that, i.e., remember Spartacus? He called himself Spartacus in the Kavanaugh hearing. This is my I am Spartacus moment. Shut up. You googly-eyed at-you-for-you freak. He's got one eye looking at you, one eye looking for you. That's at-you-for-you. It's a nasty disease. If it was a Republican, like, remember Brett Kavanaugh with the allegations, those bizarre accusations from Christine Blasey fraud? When did it happen? I don't remember. Who was there? I don't remember. When was it? I don't know. Where was it? I don't know. But did it happen? Oh, it definitely happened. I 100% remembering it happening, but I don't remember any of the specifics. No. Okay. All right. Fine. Cool. Whatever. Great. The Democrats were called, believe all women. Believe all women. He should be disqualified from the Supreme Court. Brett Kavanaugh is a rapist. Remember, they asked him about fart jokes in his high school yearbook. Mr. Kavanaugh, what does boofing mean? It means farting. Congratulations. You now asked a fart question in a Supreme Court hearing. Great job, guys. Great job. You put that guy through the ringer. The ringer. Well, the Supreme Court's a lifetime appointment. I get it. My point is, Roy Moore in Alabama. Remember when he ran for Senate, lost to Doug Jones? There were accusations against the women, by the women, that he was abusive or whatever it was, the Roy Moore scandal. They went nuts. Donald Trump and Stormy Daniels, they went nuts. Graham Plattner, Nazi tattoo. Many allegations from women about his abusive tendencies. Bizarre stories about him honking his hedgehog in a porta potty. Right? This is a guy who grew up. Mom and dad paid for everything for him. He was a quote-unquote oyster farmer, and his only client was his mom's restaurant. Like, talk about white privilege, shall we? And what is Cory Booker? What is his response when he's asked about this? Oh, by God, we need the Senate. Okay, thanks for letting us know that you have no standards and all you care about is power. That's all it is. Hello? Are we paying attention? Hello? 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 I hope they're paying attention. I hope these liberals are paying attention. Anyway. No standards whatsoever. None at all. Remember in November. That's all I can say. Remember in November. You could vote for Republicans who are not perfect. They're not the solution to every problem that you have. They're not the magic pill. They're not a perfect group of people. You're going to elect some guys that you're going to be so upset with several months after they win re-election and get sworn in. But if you believe that things are going to get better for you by electing Graham Plattner with his Nazi tattoo, or, you know, some of these other, James Talafrico with his, I'm a vegan in Texas. I'm a vegan. God, he says he's a Christian who hates Christianity. How does that work out? That there's 6 different genders, that he wants the southern border to be a welcome mat. We just talked about how the illegal alien invasion contributed largely to the affordability crisis in this country. But he wants a welcome mat. You're going to vote for that. You're going to vote for the people who are being passionately supported by the frog suit wearing Team Algae people who are cheering along microorganisms in a reflecting pool like they're at a World Cup game. Harassing the National Guard. You're going to vote for them? You think life's going to get better if those people are in charge? Listen, things ain't great right now. I'm not saying they are. It's not utopia. But holy smokes, you think it's going to get better if you put those people in charge? You need your head examined if you think that's the case. And you might need, as I call it, the small room, big needle, long nap protocol. And then the get the F away from me treatment like I want to do to the Europeans chugging ranch at a TSA checkpoint in the airport. No way. Remember in November. When we come back, we're going to wrap up this 3-hour show here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. It's Shawn Farash taking you to 6 o'clock. 855-839-1210. 855-839-1210. Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. YouTube.com/1210 WPHT. Follow along. And we're back with the last segment of hour 3 here in the afternoons right after this.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Summer is here, and that means pool days and patio nights. But is your uneven concrete making your backyard feel more like a construction zone than a vacation spot? Stop worrying about stubbed toes and stumbles. Keystone Guncrete can level your pool deck and patio quickly and cleanly, saving you thousands over the cost of pouring new concrete. We'll have your backyard party ready before your water even gets warm. Head to KeystoneGuncrete.com. Remember, Guncrete is spelled with a K. Mention 1210 and we'll take $50 off your project.
You don't need another opinion, just the facts.
What caused that crash on the Schuylkill? Will it rain before the kids' game? What happened at the school board meeting last night?
At KYW News Radio, we don't take sides. We take notes, delivering the information you need to make the best decisions for your family.
The news you need whenever you need it.
Depend on KYW
WNYW News Radio, Philadelphia's most trusted news leader for more than 60 years.
Uh-oh, Brad's buzzed.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he's starting with the woots. And now a speech.
I just want to say that friendship is about heart and brain. Who's with me?
Good thing is, he knows when he's buzzed.
And my brain is saying, when it's time to go home, somebody call me a ride.
Love that guy.
Me too.
Know your buzzed warning signs? Call for a ride when it's time to go home. Buzz driving is drunk driving. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Prioritize yourself and make your dream of an attractive, healthy smile a reality at PI Dental Center. The professionals at PI Dental have been transforming patients' smiles for over 38 years. Board-certified specialists, Dr. Glenn Wolfinger and Dr. Robert Slough, perform complex dental makeovers with their Teeth in a Day protocol, where dental implants are placed and restored with fixed teeth in just one day. It's time to invest in yourself. For a smile that's monumental, trust PI Dental. Visit pidentalcenter.com.
Attention all dog owners. If you have ever listened to the radio or TV for any length of time, you've probably heard of America's #1 dog supplement, Rough Greens. Greetings, naturopathy Dr. Dennis Black, Amazon best-selling author and founder of Rough Greens here. And if your dog suffers from bad breath, itchy skin, licking paws, joint pain, or low energy, the truth is their food is probably to blame. You see, all commercial dog food is dead food. That's why I created Rough Greens. One daily scoop gives your pup the live vitamins, omega oils, probiotics, and enzymes that will bring their food back to life. Don't believe me? Let your dog try it before you buy it. I'll send you a free Jumpstart trial bag, risk-free. You just cover the shipping. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Use discount code NEWS. Don't wait. Give your dog the gift of vibrant health. Order now. It'll be at your house in a few days. Go to roughgreens.com. That's RUFFgreens.com. Discount code NEWS for your free Jumpstart trial bag today. Rough Green. We make any dog food better.
Be sure to follow Talk Radio 1210 WPHT on the free Odyssey app. Download it now.
There it is. It is a free bird. Final segment here on Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. It is 5:52 p.m. And we got a big breaking story for you. Well, first, a federal appeals court has handed Donald Trump a significant victory with his mass deportation efforts, ruling today revives the administration's move to speed up deportations of undocumented immigrants, illegal aliens in the United States. The ruling from the U.S. D.C. Court of Appeals allows the Trump administration to cast a wider net over who is subject to the fast-track deportation procedure known as expedited removal. The decision allows the administration to move forward with its plan to quickly deport undocumented immigrants. This is from CNN. That's why it's termed this way. Who are residing in the United States and can't prove they've lived in the country continuously for 2 years or more. Trial court previously blocked the administration's maneuver, but an appeals court has overturned that. A majority opinion by Walker rejected the challenger's arguments that the extended policy violated the Constitution's right to due process. Beautiful win there for the Trump administration. And finally, Texas, ladies and gentlemen. There's another bizarre animal on the loose in Texas, ladies and gentlemen. A giraffe. Could you believe a giraffe is on the loose in Texas after escaping from a ranch? We've had llamas go missing in Texas. We've talked about it. We've had kangaroos go missing in Texas. Now there is a giraffe on the loose. This just broke not too long ago. Authorities in Texas are asking for the public's help to find a giraffe. How do you lose a giraffe? They have like necks that are, longer than a Lord of the Rings movie. How do you lose a giraffe? Okay. The giraffe's name is Gracie, escaped from a ranch in Real County. The Real County Animal Rescue Shelter revealed on social media that Gracie absconded from the Cedar Hollow Ranch and was last seen on a game camera west of Leakey. This is from NBC Dallas Fort Worth. The Real County Sheriff's Office confirmed to NBC5 on Tuesday afternoon that the search for Gracie the giraffe is ongoing. Aside from a photograph and a description of rounded ears, no other information about Gracie was provided. The shelter said in the post that the giraffe's owner, Vic Jones, was offering a $5,000 reward for information leading to the giraffe's capture and safe return. So, of course, I did a little digging. And wouldn't you know it? Now, why do these crazy exotic animals, why do they keep getting loose in Texas? Because Texas does not have any rules about these animals. A giraffe in Texas is legal to own. Why would you want one? Justin, could you ever see a day where you'd be like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a pet giraffe. You want one? I don't want one.
I mean, maybe if I was like just so filthy rich, I had no idea what to do with my money, but
buy a boat.
Yeah, I can't buy a boat, but it's what compels these people to buy these weird animals? I
mean, I could see a kangaroo. Kangaroos are kind of cool, but a giraffe is huge. Like, you can't take it in the house. You can't, like, it's massive. What are you doing with a giraffe?
I looked it up because as you mentioned during the break, I was like, how many different like animals have been caught on the loose in Texas in the last 4 years? There was
What'd you come up with?
An antelope in
Okay.
South Texas back in 2023. A Barbary sheep from North Africa that was released in West Texas.
Barbary sheep.
Lemurs. Wallabies.
Zaboomafoo.
Capybaras. Tigers.
Zaboomafoo was capybaras.
Yeah.
Right,
In
tigers are a real
2026, they found a couple of capybaras wandering on a
great.
nature trail in South Texas.
And so this is why we can't have nice things. You know, I want less laws and smaller government, but then people bring giraffes into this country and they get loose. I mean, what do you do if you're just trying to pull your car into your driveway and there's a giraffe? Like, you know,
I
you
wouldn't
get kicked by one of those things, you're losing your head.
I wouldn't even know, like, is it the type of animal you back away from slowly? Is it the kind that you run from? Like, what do you, if it comes at you, like, what are you supposed to do?
I have no idea.
Other than shoot
I know
it.
They say if you're or crap yourself first.
I
you know, and then,
don't know. I honestly don't know.
You get trampled on. I'll tell you what. Yeah, so Texas is cool, but the reason why these animals keep going on the loose because they make it legal to own a giraffe. Okay, you don't even need it. There's no statewide permit in Texas required to own a giraffe as a private individual. So there you go. Animals on the loose, bees and giraffes now loose in Texas. Justin, Andrew, thank you so much for all your hard work today. Everybody listening, watching on YouTube, listening on your radio dial, Talk Radio 1210 WPHT. Always a pleasure to be with you. Folks, the next 3 weeks in the morning show, I'm going to be with you a lot. All right. So we are going to have a lot of fun over the next 3 weeks here. I'll be back on Friday for Farash Friday on Kale & Company. This is my last time this week in the afternoons. Appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much for watching and listening. You can follow me on X at Shawn, SHAWN _ Farash, FARASH. My show runs 10 a.m. Eastern Time, rumble.com/LFATV, or anywhere you get your podcast. Just search Ungoverned. Have a great rest of your day. A big ups again to Justin and Andrew running things behind the scenes. Couldn't do it without you. Appreciate it. Always a fun time. Can't wait. Can't believe the 3 hours is done already. Have a great rest of your day. God bless you. God bless America. And thank you for your attention to this matter. I'll see you Friday.
I finished a 5K in 94th place, right after a man wearing jeans. They still gave me a medal. I don't want a reward for doing. I want a reward for dominating. Like Daily Prize Matcher on Bet365.